human smuggling in the state of Texas with the Santoyo Guzman criminal organization. The Albertville Chamber of Commerce is also clarifying some details surrounding Guzman, saying that she was a member of the chamber as a real estate agent, but she was never on the Chamber of Commerce board. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
What's your biggest investment? More than likely, it's your home. So treat it that way when you hire a painting contractor. At PBS Painting, there are no gimmicks, no $99 specials. Just quality painting and someone who treats your home with the same respect that you do. At PBS Painting, we have been painting for years and look forward to many more years to come. With PBS Painting, the job gets prepped properly, whether it's cleaning, scraping, or priming. We always use quality products, which is a must for a quality paint job. So if you're looking for a painter that doesn't need upfront money and is on the job at all times, then please give me a call. Scott Bowers and PBS Painting, 294-5122. That's PBS Painting, 294-5122. Look at some of our work on Facebook at PBS Painting Montgomery.
Hi, this is Danny with High Caliber Gun and Pawn. November we'll be celebrating 10 years of doing business in the river region, and Blue Water Broadcasting has been an integral part of that 10 years. High Caliber Gun and Pawn, we say we are a step above the rest, and Blue Water Broadcasting definitely is that step.
Did you know that radio is the #1 reach platform in all of media? It's true. Call us to find out how to put radio's #1 reach to work for your business. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks helping local business.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
How you conduct yourself in a democracy.
Joey Clark.
Welcome into the program here on a lovely Tuesday. Coach Tuberville's got a new game plan out as he, hits the ground running for governor of this here state. More follow-up on the whole Maduro capture. Elon Musk signals his bromance is back with Donald John Trump after a quote-unquote lovely dinner. We've got a backstory of Marco Rubio, interesting breakdowns of why Trump is not backing Machado, the Nobel Prize winner, to immediately go in there and run Venezuela. Trump is also getting more aggressive with Greenland. And Bobby Kennedy and the health team he's put together, the CDC, has overhauled the childhood vaccine schedule. The new vaccine schedule is modeled after Denmark. So Denmark is not pleased about Greenland, but we're emulating Denmark with 11 vaccines instead of the 18, or if not, the 70-something that were often recommended. Yeah. And you hear that voice. Eddie Bader is back from Jamaica. How are you doing today?
I'm doing wonderful. Although, I'm very honest, Joey. They don't warn you about the letdown of leaving an all-inclusive place like that with the beach.
Haven't you done this before, though?
Yeah, but it still gets me every time.
You should have warned yourself.
I did, but it didn't do good. The plane ride back, quiet as it can be.
You got the blues?
Yeah, a little bit.
I don't want to hear it, man.
There was no Carol to make me omelets this morning and sing to me. There was no room service. There was no Blue Mountain Coffee. There was no roar of the beach behind me.
Byron Sheehy also here in the studio with me. You notice the same thing. He's got some color to him.
Yeah, and an unhealthy dose of unrealistic expectations, apparently.
Well, I'll be honest. Coming back and just realizing you're poor sucks.
You're not poor.
I don't live there all the time. I don't have all inclusive all my life.
I'm just saying you're not a poor man. Now, maybe poor in spirit.
Yeah,
Like
Charlie Brown over
financially,
here.
you're doing all right. So, like, was there before we get into news and stuff, was there a particular highlight?
All right, I'll tell you. I told off air. I'm sure the stories are going to go around. Besides the Speedo picture that's currently,
Yeah, that's disgusting.
dude.
I mean,
that is
it
peak
takes, it's a
male
lot of man.
performance.
That's a lot of man.
That's peak male performance. Let me know, or let me tell you, there were several photos being taken of me besides just my wife when I was doing that shot. Okay, that whole photo shoot. There were several.
Byron, would you like to see this?
No,
You don't want to see it? I'm looking at it right now.
I'll show him the one where I'm laying in the waves and even more sexier. So, but we had that. That was a lot of fun. And honestly, the whole thing was great. Probably the best vacation I've had in a long time. My wife and I were together the entire time. We rang in the New Year together. At that point, at some point where I had that nice white linen.
Yeah, you were rocking a linen suit essentially, but white linen pants.
Yes,
linen little.
I was rocking
button up.
I was rocking it, but I started challenging the bartenders, the Jamaican bartenders, and telling them they were making weak drinks.
Oh my!
And later on, I ended up in the hot tub, fully clothed, only to leave the hot tub to go try to steal the resort boat because someone that I was with, said, "Hey, you know they leave the keys in the boat, Eddie, at night." And
he's trying to blame someone else.
Right. Do I need to pull out like King Baldwin from Kingdom of Heaven?
I'm just saying,
your soul is in your keeping alone. You
I
can't
agree,
say
but when you're in that condition and you have the rum spirits going on, people should not encourage you to do crazier things like that.
Right. Yeah, drunkenness can lead to some pretty silly choices.
But I was able to make a friend. My understanding is the way they were able to talk me off the boat and back to the beach is I negotiated a dance with the security lady. If I would come back to the beach, she had to dance with me. I don't know if we danced together, but I do know that I apologized profusely the next day, and she said that was perfectly fine. And I ruined my linen clothes.
How much money does it take to buy your way out of something in Jamaica?
This is the nice thing. Well, it depends, but this is a nice thing. In America, I'd have been under the jail.
Yeah, oh sure,
1,000%. Everybody laughed. The next day, everyone.
This isn't the first honky they've seen do this.
No.
Right.
And I'm sure they were worse than me. And I think at one point, and I got a picture, I think I met the Chinese owner of Sandal or of Couples.
They had to call
Oh,
him
really?
I think, well, I'm all hugged up with this Chinese guy, and he's got the suit, the sheen suit on, and just the shorts. But he was pretty important, apparently.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay. And you took a photo with him. I saw that.
Yeah. I'm thinking there. And
did you say after you got back the next morning, "Me so sorry"?
No, I did see him at breakfast. I just held my head down.
Do they have a wall of shame?
If they do, I'm on it. But let me remind you guys something about this resort. It has a nudie beach too, so I'm not the worst one that was there.
No,
I'm not the craziest one because we walked over to see the nudie beach. We weren't going to go past the gate, but we were kind of wondering what kind of traffic they got.
They were appreciative of Eddie and his.
Yes, we could have been 10s on that nudie beach. Let me tell you,
you could have been 10,
at least 9.5.
Twos.
Yeah.
Okay.
There was a lot of European hairy people over there.
Hairy European men.
Yes.
And women too.
And women.
Yeah.
And they were proud of things they should not have been proud of.
Well,
I'll say that.
Sounds like someone else I know.
So, like, how long was this trip? Like 2 weeks?
This was 7 days.
7 days.
But I'm trying to go back tomorrow.
Okay.
I mean, that's just.
I see how it is.
It was beautiful. And it was great to see my buddy Marvin helping promote his business. He took care of us. Swimming with the dolphins, one of the most amazing things I've ever done. I used to mock people that did that kind of silliness until I did it. They're like golden retrievers of the water. They literally pushed us around, pushed us out of the water. Got to play with them a while. Hannah got to feed the baby dolphins. It was really, even though I've been there a gazillion times, it was really one of the best vacations I've ever had.
So are you ready for 2026?
Yeah, man.
How about Alabama politics in 2026?
Dude.
You ready for all these candidates? I'm a very popular girl now. Like,
oh, really, Joey? Are people asking you to
like,
dance?
all these candidates like, can I come on your show? And I'm like, yeah, sure, man.
Sure. Well,
I hadn't heard from you in years. That's not all of them. Some have been very wonderful and been in constant communication.
They should consider taking a note that I learned in Jamaica on running for politics. Apparently, you get a piece of crap car. You put like 5 speakers on it.
Okay.
And you ride through town saying, vote for bye. Yeah, and you do that at all hours.
Fred Thompson in that red pickup truck, just everywhere in Tennessee. That hound dog.
Did it work?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Yesterday, and I read this yesterday, but I kind of want to go over it with you two gentlemen. It just came out today at 1819 News. It's Joey Clark, 5 questions to ask about Alabama politics in 2026. Did you know there's actually a verse in the Bible where it's not a good thing. A high place in Ezekiel 20 is not a good thing. It's like where pagan idolatry would go on, and as Israel would fall away, they'd go to the high places and do a lot of weird pagan stuff.
Okay.
And so at one point, the quote from Ezekiel 20:29 is, I said to them, what is the high place to which you go? So its name is called Bama to this day.
I see.
Now, Bama with an H. But so I'm just warning folks, be careful, especially with the politics about the high places we might be led. But the first question is this: is Kay Ivey a legacy governor?
No.
Yeah, I think it's
Not
like
in my
obvious.
opinion, by no means.
Right. And yet some syndicated columnists have these flowery honorifics they're ready to throw on top of her.
Joey.
Yeah, I smell flatter.
Let's not forget they want to do the same thing for Biden.
Oh, yeah, they did that same thing.
Just remember.
No, it's kind of like the court historian. It's like the king is always right.
Always correct.
It is such a wonderful honor to be able to clean out the chamber pot of the Sun King.
It's so nice.
No, you're just cleaning up crap, boy.
man.
Just cleaning up crap. And that's why I see this. Like, I'm sure Kay Ivey has done some things that will leave a legacy.
Sure.
Every governor leaves a legacy. Every person leaves a legacy, for better or worse. So I could look at the school choice thing.
Okay.
That people cited like raising gas taxes to build roads. And it's like, really, if that's...
I'm over that at that point.
In my mind, the only legacy governor in modern Alabama politics is George Wallace, because of how larger than life he was, and for all sorts of reasons. And the effect on the state practically, the effect on the state symbolically, like
national spotlight
for good or for better, for worse.
I got to say, recently the closest probably be Riley. I mean,
possibly, but even Riley, it's not. You say George Wallace, it's not quite the same. Just think of the name, like Bob Riley.
Doesn't seem as
George Wallace. It's like Riley was a powerful player in many ways.
But he transformed economically the state. I mean, we got more of the plants, the auto plants, and everything.
Did he transform the state, or did he kind of ride some of that in from a previous administration?
Yeah, there are other folks who got the Mercedes plant goes way back.
Yeah, that was the Dem before him.
Right.
But
So
we really blew it open under Raleigh.
So the point is, like, Ivy started the school choice thing with the Choose Act. I like that, but like there's going to be stuff that governors do. But like when you say a legacy governor,
dude,
it's not. It can't be this like practical policy thing. It's got to be somebody who's larger than life. And the only name that comes to mind for me is George Wallace.
Well, with her, she threw me under the bus during COVID, so I really don't have nothing.
Yeah, she did. It's a pandemic of the unvaccinated.
If you can't name like 2 or 3 major accomplishments, it's not really a legacy. It's kind of like the Hall of Fame argument in sports. Like, if you have to sit there and nitpick over this person getting in or not, then the answer is no, they're not.
Right. But moving away from Ivy, but it's important to be like, to get wise to the game, folks, of the flatterers, the so-called movers and shakers that know where their bread is buttered, and so they're going to keep saying very nice things about whoever's in power.
Of course.
But moving away from personalities, question 2 for me in this new year, especially with Alabama politics, why are Alabama power rates so damn high?
Joey.
Because they can, Joey.
Because they can.
Because they can. Why does a dog do the thing he does, Joey? Because he can.
Return to his vomit?
Sure, we'll go to that.
Or like hump people or something.
Clean himself.
Oh, yeah.
Wow. Because he can. However, I will say it now. There's been a lot of pushback here lately that I've seen anyway. Rumblings over the internet, pushback with Alabama power. If Alabama, and this whole rate hike thing, I think is a scam. People are going to find out.
Or the rate freeze through 2027.
Yeah.
If Alabama power has to take a knee, I think Blue Cross Blue Shield will be right behind them, falling in 2027.
I think Blue Cross will be out in front.
Well, but they're not taking it right now, just from what I see. And I've been on vacation, so but just from what I see right now, the internet is ate up with why Alabama power. Why are we paying their taxes on their profits?
Let me rephrase.
How much? Yeah.
Politically, I think that it's more likely that Alabama power stays Alabama power.
Oh, it'll stay that, but I think there'll have to be some openings of the books. Like, when's the last time they did a real audit?
Well, when's the last time any public service commissioners ever actually, stood toe to toe?
Not in this state. Not. There was one
like
we
Terry Dunn
in
like 2013. He started suggesting the return should be 10%.
And what happened to him?
He claims a private investigator started following him, and Alabama said that power. So we had nothing to do with that.
One of the guys that's on Facebook about, not Facebook, but YouTube about it, says that he started giving them a hard time and bringing out in public some of the things they were doing. Now his power bills are always 0.
Interesting.
Last 3 months, 0.
But
Then
I mean, I suggested a simple rule, and this probably isn't like feasible, but like take everything they get like essentially built in.
Mhm.
So like a certain amount of cost, like so cost of fuel, cost of running a plant, cost of buying
paying off
energy
politicians.
from other entities, other companies. There's also like they get a guaranteed rate of return.
Sure.
And without going
unfair,
into all
man.
the nuts and the bolts, what's actually kind of a legacy of Wallace apparently, where he almost bankrupted Alabama Power at one point during his tenure. So people tried to overcorrect of like, let's not let politics, ruin our power company. But then it's gone, I think, way too far in the other direction. They're too insulated from political power.
What was your solution?
I would do a simple rule that all those things, your cost changes year to year, as well as your guaranteed rate of return, that it has to be at or below the regional average.
I'd put within a range of the regional average.
Yeah, put within a range. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just a suggestion, but like, and maybe you have a more transparent like rate hearings and these sorts of things. But like, yeah, it's not like we're going full George Wallace and like you get nothing. It's more like, why are we the highest rate, much higher than the national average, the rate of return,
just like
and the highest rates in the Southeast are power rates for consumers.
Yes, and
someone's got to get.
In some of these videos, it's I know they're videos, so people can only take them so far. But there'll be a guy or a woman, and they'll say, okay, my bill has been $800 something for the last 3 months.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm turning off everything and we're going to film the house. And their bill comes back like $100 cheaper the next month. And they're raising Cain saying, no, I use less kilowatt hours. I use less than half. Why? Not getting answers. One person wanted to go off budget billing.
Mm-hmm.
They said, if you go off budget billing, you got to give us $700. And he's like, why? My power bill right now for the next couple of months will average only $250. I said, yeah, but you're on budget billing. So we've kind of averaged out for the year.
Wow.
So he can't get off budget billing for like another month or so until that comes down to his payout is like $600.
And also, and we'll get to the second question you just foreshadowed a second ago, Eddie, but I quote both Tuberville, he put out a video in December, and Senator Britt, who made noise about this early last year, but also in November when they were talking about, I think in Bessemer, a data center.
Oh, yeah, that data center. That's right.
She was talking about we have the highest power rates in the Southeast. Yep. I think that's unacceptable. Coach Tuberville praising Alabama Power for freezing rates through 2027, but moving forward, we got to focus on cutting regulations. Do we buy potential future governor, probably the future governor, he's going to be the governor, and let's say a powerful political leader in the state with Senator Britt? Do you think they're actually serious about holding Alabama Power's feet to the fire?
No.
You don't think so?
No. Dude,
I think
follow the money.
I think there's a deal that can be struck somewhere.
Yeah.
I mean,
100%.
With all the other state utilities that Southern Company has, if they need to adjust their books a certain way.
But it's going to take somebody with some gonads here to reel them in.
And I guess Southern Company's the big publicly traded company, and
Georgia,
Alabama
Tennessee,
Power,
Florida,
Georgia Power, they're like wholly owned subsidiaries.
Yeah, but we got a lot of federal guys and stuff happening in Alabama, so maybe they look at our rates a little differently overall as a state because of the federal stuff as well. So
perhaps. Well, and this leads me to my third question I'm throwing out there. You mentioned
real quick, how much is it a kilowatt hour here in Alabama? Does anybody
1630 something? I don't know. It's
so somebody, I didn't know if anybody really knew. $16 for a kilowatt. Oof.
Pretty nuts.
Yeah.
Question 3. Is Blue Cross Blue Shield of Alabama best serving the people by being allowed to dominate the state health insurance market?
9.
Is that a loaded question?
Yeah.
I'm just asking.
I mean, is it written that way?
Yeah.
Is eating McDonald's good for your health every day?
Hell no.
No, the answer is no. Right. No, I say at the beginning of this, I'm not trying to provide definitive answers. I don't prophetic vision or technical prowess. Like, I'm just asking questions that are going to be in my mind as I watch 2026 unfold in this
Haven't you learned by now asking questions can be dangerous?
Yeah, but that's a bad poll question, the way it's constructed.
I'm not trying to poll anybody. Yeah, and so, like, I look at Alabama, or I look at Blue Cross Blue Shield of Alabama, and I'm like, what can be done? I think Arthur Orr in the last session and in 2024 tried to do a bill where Alpha could do a self-funded health plan for its members, which if said initially it'd be for farming families, but Blue Cross Blue Shield's like, no, they'll go to all their members. And like, no, you can't do that. How dare you pit the other big gorilla against us?
Right.
What's the rationale on why we can't buy across state lines?
It's a good point.
That's been a good point for how many years now?
That's the solution. Period.
100%.
Competition.
Open up the competition.
Another thing would be if this would be more indirect for costs, is like overhaul the certificate of need regulation.
Big time.
Which,
especially now when we're closing hospitals left and right. I think
exactly
that's beyond ridiculous. And I know they say, oh, it costs us X amount to keep them open. Let's find the money.
And
when you got folks in Greenville having to come further just for kidney dialysis and things like that,
they're failing businesses.
Right.
I mean,
but I agree with to a point, except for when we talk about the insurance reimbursement.
Yes, they're being sued, by the way, by Jackson Group, who now oversees Jackson Hospital, for, like, say, inequitable reimbursement rates. And I ran across a WBRC report. It was some group that worries about denials, especially folks who have like crazy, have cancer diagnoses and they get denied by their insurance company they've been paying into for years.
Their life. Yeah. Yep.
That's saying it's Blue Cross Blue Shield is like one of the, if not the highest in the nation for in-network. It's not like, oh, you went to the wrong doctor or hospital. No, in-network denials. Blue Cross Blue Shield, of course, disputes all of this stuff.
Well,
they're going to fight in court and they're going to say, y'all did your study wrong. We actually, a lot of those denials were paperwork and clerical errors and stuff.
Man, they've been buying doctors off for years, the 7 out of 10 doctors and stuff. I mean, if they had to buy off a bunch of judges and some more politicians.
Goes back to open up some books. Open up some books.
And then, yesterday we had on Jared Hudson to kick off the show. It's good talking to Jared. And then tomorrow we'll have Barry Moore on the show.
Oh, it'll be good to see
awesome.
And I think we'll also on Monday have Morgan Murphy on the show.
All right.
I would love to hear from Steve Marshall's folks because I like Steve a lot.
We saw him at the dinner.
Yeah, I hadn't talked to him for a while. Him and his lovely wife. It was great.
I thought he meant Jamaica for a second.
I don't think he was in Jamaica.
It's gonna be like, that's some oppo research for the ages there, Eddie.
He was next to a man in white linen who had a Chinese confidant.
There were some uncomfortable incidences there, yes.
Me so sorry. But yes, it's 'tis the season. Like, it's a crowded field. I don't know Rodney Walker. I don't think Rodney Walker's raised any money.
It sounds like our kind of candidate.
Yeah, it makes me like him actually a lot. It's like he's like this crazy long shot, Mr. Smith.
Does he run or does he come from money?
I have no clue, man. I've not had any of them reach out from that campaign. But the point is like that's not a bad field. Steve Marshall, Barry Moore, Jared Hudson, Morgan Murphy, Rodney Walker. And yet it's like there's this game of, well, let's try Bruce Pearl. Let's try Paul Feinbaum. Let's court Will Ainsworth to get into this thing.
That tells me, though, that somebody wants something specifically done that these other people are not going to do.
Or maybe he has broken relationships with folks in the current field, or sees some as like inconvenient competitors up on Capitol Hill.
For Will specifically, he's got the name ID, he's got the resume. I mean, if the undecided number is 30% or whatever the undecided number is, if no one's running away with it and they're not happy with all the candidates, someone like Will, who has the name ID and the resume, he doesn't have to be courted by interests out of the state.
Right.
He could just see an opportunity. Some of these other cats, I get where you're coming from on that.
Oh,
sure. To be courted. I mean, you think Bruce Pearl suddenly said, "Hey, and
it's not even speculation. Feinbaum gave a long-winded interview talking about this. Like, he was kind of thinking it through, and he's like, actually, if I can run on my own terms, sure. I love the state. I love the people, and I'd love to work in the Senate, especially under Trump. But then he started being told by consultants
what he had to do.
That's right. And he's like, I don't want to do that.
Well,
in particular, he said, I don't want to badmouth the company I work for years.
Okay, that's a part that I
like
heard.
calling them woke and all this other stuff.
You can if you want any kind of, I don't know, you want to keep your job? I mean, but be honest, you're going for a popularity contest when I got a guaranteed payday. I'll take the guaranteed payday all day long.
No, and it's like, there is this element of red meat. It's like, don't talk about Blue Cross Blue Shield of Alabama. Don't talk about Alabama Power. Talk about like the retarded trans Muslims invading our great state. Like, and this is, just throw words together. I
guess so, but here's the thing that worries me, though, when they talk about Alabama Power and Blue Cross Blue Shield. No tax on overtime, Joey. Remember that?
Mm-hmm. That got taken away.
That's what I'm saying. They get these things where I get behind them 1,000%. Oh, you were that close. You almost had it.
Dude, these are the same people that were touting Kay Ivey's legacy being part of raising the gas tax.
Right. Oh, yes, you're correct. 100%. It's all woven together.
What show is it? It's like, your booze mean nothing to me because I've heard what you people cheer for.
Yeah.
Like, nah, we're not the same. Sorry.
Yeah. And then this is the question I had. Last question was, how might God judge the state? And I don't try to provide an answer. I'll just say that stay away from the high places, especially when it comes to the political game. There's going to be a lot of promises that aren't going to lead you in the right direction to the straight and narrow path by any means. And you know what? I think as much as folks in the political class love to say, well, our voter turnout sucks because people are just apathetic.
Want that, Joey. They want that.
No, it's not apathy. It's, I think a lot of folks, not apathetic, just more resigned to the reality of what this is. And so it's like, you could say, I care about all sorts of issues. I care about all sorts of aspects of my life and my community and stuff. But it seems like every time I care, it's Lucy with the football.
Oh, I totally think we're going to see a market. I mean, maybe 15, 20% over the last midterm on GOP turnout. I think there's going to be a lot of people who step back and their vote's going to be not voting. It's going to be a protest.
That's going to be their vote.
Yeah.
Well, and after we hit this break, 1819 is right up by Erica Thomas. Tuberville's game plan: tackle education, block fraud, and review the West Alabama corridor. Now, that West Alabama corridor thing, I don't know about that.
Come on, let's go buy some property.
Yeah, right. I think it's already been bought up.
Oh, it'll be bought 10 more times.
Wait, you're not telling me the poor families, in particular poor black families that have been living on that land forever, aren't going to be the ones that get the benefit of this development?
I actually think I told you about this. I went and visited some of the families that were being impacted by this.
Yeah.
I guess about 4 years ago. Yeah. Some heartbreaking stories of
absolutely, man.
But is this going to make a change?
Family burials that don't matter, just don't matter.
But we'll come back and see what Tuberville's laying down, because I've been waiting for, like, let's put some meat on this bone.
Yeah.
Like, and not just red meat, like, you know, tired of the Muslims. Like, fine, I don't necessarily disagree with you, man, but, like, what about Alabama power rates? What about healthcare in the state? What about expanding school choice and education? And yes, if there is fraud throughout this little beautiful place we call home, how are you actually going to tackle it? Instead of just talking about it.
Though, we all know there's fraud. We all know there's tons of
course.
So to me, it's not a matter of if he's going to tackle it. Which one is he going to tackle?
It's careful where you look. Careful where you look.
Thank you.
Anyway, we do have to hit this break first, though. This part of the program brought to you by Pest Pro Services. Eddie, would you say this is the season to start thinking about termites?
And yes. All right. How much rain, moisture in the air right now? It's so foggy out there. So underneath your house, unless you have some kind of system that will kind of get that humidity out, you are in termite heaven. The ground is soft and wet. The wood's a little bit moist. They'll start making those trails and elevators up to your house.
Yes, they'll build like up to the actual house.
Yeah, those tunnels. So, and you know, the nice thing is it's a slow overtime situation. So if it's caught early enough, which most times it is, it's just a minimal repair. But the best thing you can do is be preventable.
Yes.
You put the bait stations
protection.
out. Yes. Get the bait stations put out.
Right.
Have them come by regularly and check things up. And you won't have a termite problem.
Well, and you should go ahead and just get on their monthly subscription for basic pest control needs. Then when mosquito season comes around, you can add that on top of it for a few months. You can add the termite year-round protection. You can also add wildlife control. It's not like those little critters aren't trying to still make a home out of your home.
True
Pest Pro can help you with all of that across the board. So you can always learn more yourself at ppsriverregion.com or just search Pest Pro Services on the Book of Faces, or just call them direct, 265-9990. That's 265-9990. When you want to know, call a pro, Pest Pro Services, and be sure to tell Ashley and that great team that Joey, Eddie, and Byron, those fellas on the radio, sent you.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
This is your roving reporter. Today I'm talking with a prospector.
That's right, man. I'm prospecting for gold. You dig?
No, but it looks like you do.
And you know the first thing I'm going to do when I strike it rich?
What's that?
I'm going to hire David Ernest to be my money man.
You mean everyone's favorite asset preservationist?
That is correct, man. I'm going to call him up at 833-596-7233. 833-596-SAFE.
You know, I've heard a lot of good things about David Ernest.
You know, he's the best money man around with over 40 years of experience.
Experience is necessary, especially when you're digging for gold.
That's right, man.
And I can see that you don't have very much experience.
What do you mean, man?
Well, you have the little plastic bucket and shovel like a kid would take to the beach.
Yeah, man. Well, I want to start out small, then kind of pace myself up until I strike it rich.
Well, maybe you should call David Ernest first.
You think he's got a shovel?
Never know till you ask.
I dig, man.
Hi there, I'm Kim Williams with Alabama Home Mortgage. For years, I've been asking you to call me at Alabama Home Mortgage because there is a difference in mortgage companies. When you call Alabama Home Mortgage, you will immediately see the difference in pricing. Not only do we offer the most competitive rates, but our closing costs rank among the lowest in the industry. How do we do it? Because we can. We do not have the overhead that big banks and lenders do. Those big banks and lenders have big expenses. And what do? They pass those expenses along to you. Meanwhile, here at Alabama Home Mortgage, we receive wholesale rates which result in big savings that we pass along to you. Don't pay more for less. Give Alabama Home Mortgage a call at 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or visit us online at myalabamahomemortgage.com to complete an application on your time. Our rates and pricing are just one difference that sets us apart from the rest. It's not just a slogan. Call Alabama Home Mortgage because, folks, there is a difference in mortgage companies. NMLS 1586-36-8, Equal Housing Lender.
With the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason. Artificial intelligence is all the rage at this year's Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas. NVIDIA has introduced driverless vehicle technology that it says is better able to navigate congested city streets. The BBC's Lily Jamali.
This project has been in the works for a number of years now. They have thousands of people working on it just at NVIDIA alone. And this driverless vehicle, the Mercedes-Benz CLA, it's not promised 2 years from now, 3 years from now. It is currently in production and will be released in the United States in the first quarter of this year. So just in the next couple of months.
Shares of major American energy companies have risen after President Trump said American companies would be called in to revitalize Venezuela's oil industry after years of neglect and international sanctions. For the Wall Street Business Report, I'm Rich Thomason.
Rich Thomas Weather, a service of Riverside Chevrolet Wetumpka. If it's Chevy, it's Riverside. Best price, best selection. Check them out on the web at riversideusa.net.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. We've got a forecast that takes us back into the 70s for the next few days. I've got us around 74 today, a dry day, limited sunshine. Cloudy at times tonight. Overnight low temperature down to about 50. Partial sunshine. How about mid-70s on Wednesday and also on Thursday? Could be some isolated showers on Thursday, but the main event, rain and thunderstorms, become likely by late Friday into Friday night. Our next storm system. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
CB&S Bank has a long history of stability and a legacy of serving our community's needs for generations since we began in 1906. At CB&S Bank, we're here for you. All loans subject to credit approval, member FDIC, and equal housing lender.
The premier place the River Region turns to for news, weather, traffic, and opinion. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. We'll get to Greenland. We'll get to more with the Maduro, Venezuela stuff going on. I have to say and Scott Adams agrees, which, by the way, that guy is deteriorating. The cancer's getting to him.
Oh, man.
But I got a clip of him. He's saying he's going to convert to Christianity.
TikTok, brother.
Victor Davis Hanson.
I haven't heard anything about him.
Last I heard,
he was having a massive surgery.
He had that surgery, and I don't know how it went or anything since then.
Yeah. No, we got a lot to get into, like the Venezuela aspects from Rubio's backstory. Hegseth saying U.S. military already surpassing last year's recruiting figure.
Oh, no doubt.
Pretty incredible.
No doubt.
And of course, we'll have to get to the CDC rescheduling the vaccine stuff, the new vaccine schedule. For
How many did they
children.
drop off? You said like 6 or 7 vaccines they've dropped off?
Yeah, for you. We'll get into the details a little later. And then there's a Wall Street Journal piece saying, and this is going to break your big old heart, Eddie.
Oh.
America is falling out of love with pizza. Apparently, pizza sales are softening.
Yes, because you got so much garbage pizza in the market.
And I agree. And McDonald's is hit with a class action lawsuit. There's no rib meat in the McRib.
Does that surprise anybody?
But people are mad enough to sue about it or see a payday.
There you go. Thank you.
Anyway, let's now go to what we were teasing. Tuberville's game plan. This is out of Gulf Shores. Tommy Tuberville addressed Venezuela, federal funds fraud, and his vision as governor during an event at the Alabama Forestry Association's public policy seminar on Monday. How important is the Forestry Administration?
Very.
Or association?
Probably imagine.
Oh, no, I was about to, that's just why I'm asking. But I'd imagine a lot of good folks in that association.
A lot of very important folks.
Yeah.
Landowners, baby.
It's not necessarily quantity. Well, money-wise, it's quantity, but it's quality of the gentleman or gentle lady. Yes.
You don't have quite as many phone calls as you have to make if you get those guys on your side.
That's true. That's what I was thinking.
Good point.
I think they're solidly behind.
Oh, yeah.
But Tuberville served as a breakfast keynote speaker for the event at the Gulf State Park Lodge. What is that place? Gulf State
Down
Park
at the beach?
Yeah.
It's beautiful, man.
Yeah, it is?
Yes.
Okay.
They have camping and you can rent rooms as well, but absolutely gorgeous.
Oh,
One
absolutely.
of the good things I will say the state has done.
One thing, like going to, we went to that gala and I've been to several of these conference stuff. I can't stand the, we're going to have somebody speak while we eat. Because you get the clinking of
Clink,
the
clink, clink, yeah.
ding, ding, ding,
And you can't
ding,
give
and then
it
one
your full
waiter's
attention,
like, "Oh,
yeah.
sorry, senor," like dropping a plate. It's like
I want to go to an event with you because you may be the one person who hates those things more than me.
Yeah, it's just
Dude,
just let the man.
it's
Why do we need
beautiful, but it's
food?
awful.
Look at y'all. Y'all don't need to eat. Let's fast for a day.
I always sit at the last
Down to
table.
200, Biddy. Just hold on
I'm
now.
at 200. Actually, I was 202 this morning.
Fatty. But I went to
Ate too
all
much
you can
peanut
eat
butter
for the last
last night.
7 days, and I'm still holding it too.
Yeah, but I got into the whole crunchy peanut butter.
I got
spoon
into the whole
thing.
bottles of rum.
Midnight snack.
I still don't buy that whole pizza nonsense.
Anyway, Tuberville said it was time for a shift in how students approached college.
Yeah.
He said it was embarrassing when college graduates couldn't afford to pay off their student loans and leave school woke. After meeting with college presidents, he believes colleges and universities need to be evaluated. I'm with Coach
Can't
Sharp.
argue with that, Joe.
I'm with him there.
I know too many people that after they've got their degree, they kind of feel like they were sold a bill of goods.
Here's the quote from Tuberville. They've been indoctrinating kids and they don't teach a damn thing.
Yep.
So it's time we get back to teaching. All right. Tuberville said the state also needs to evaluate K through 12 and develop a workforce development program at the high
Big
school
time.
level.
Get back the K-backs and Maybacks, man. We really
Another
need that.
issue he's looking into is fraud with federal dollars. He said fraud was occurring in every state, including Alabama.
Sure it is.
While he did not specify how fraud is impacting Alabama, he said there needed to be more oversight. We have fraud in our state. We're getting ready to stop it. We're getting ready to put in parameters that, number one, if it starts to happen, we're going to catch people because money that people make needs to stay. More of it needs to stay in your pockets, needs to stay in your business. It doesn't need to be squandered by the federal government. That's what's happening.
You think he might get behind
If
that?
he does that, he'll probably have a legacy.
Yeah,
If
perhaps.
If we can get him on the overtime deal, he'll have a legacy.
Perhaps. Now, while talking to reporters, Tuberville addressed the controversial West Alabama Corridor project, which will cost Alabama taxpayers $730 million. And I think that's all state money. There's no federal, matching.
Okay, so here's the truth. I think it actually needs to be done. If you want to talk about the easiest way to open up a market or a geographical location, build a road.
And it could give some relief to the interstate.
Sure, but shouldn't you try to have some pre-planning? If we build this road, will you come? Will you come? Will you come? Because have we not had
build it?
Have our okay?
Build it.
Well, here's Tuberville's
Do
take.
our leaders not screw up on this on a regular basis where they should let this really? Is that a water park in town you've been to a lot? Is there a recycling center in town that's incorrectly
A four-lane highway is not a water park.
No, you're right. it's just going to be an empty highway. Have you been out that way?
Yeah, I have.
Okay, but you have now. Be honest, you have to travel quite a bit, do you not?
Mhm.
And you don't fly; you drive.
I fly, but I love driving. So yeah.
I don't see it worth the investment. I mean, we used to do business over there. There's not enough.
You will get the traffic from Tuscaloosa down to Mobile, no problem. Why would people that way? If you're coming from Oxford or Jackson, why would you go all the way over to Birmingham to go down to Mobile?
Because the road's already there, and we're going to 6-lane it.
If we want to talk about fully developing the state, build the road. If you just want to keep things where they are geographically and in the same counties, keep the infrastructure the way that it is.
Well, here's what
I want my leaders to keep the police paid. I want the roads paved. I don't need their economic stuff because they usually screw that up.
So here's Tuberville's take on this. Obviously, they looked at it and they feel like they had the money to do it. You know, I wish we had put a little federal money into it, because if you don't do something federal, at least some federal money, they're not going to do any upkeep on it. And that road is going to need a lot of upkeep over the years. So it sounds like Tuberville agrees with you, Byron, in the sense of economic development. But that's a big chunk of change coming right out of taxpayers in the state of Alabama.
It's a good thing we just got our taxes raised for road improvement.
Yeah.
I mean, what'd we pay for?
That signage that says, "Hey, there's road improvement coming."
I mean,
I see it all over the place.
We got that stupid sign that says, "Pardon our progress," and we can't even spell progress correctly in Birmingham.
Now you're making Eddie's point.
Yeah. No, it is frustrating, but I just hate it because I don't see, and I'm not on that road as much, so I don't see the possibility. What's going to come there? What businesses do you see coming there besides the travel through, the pass through?
I don't know exactly what industry it is that's going to do it, but if you build a 4-lane highway, a major highway there, they will fill it. It's the same argument that I have on why you just don't expand 65 and think that you're going to alleviate traffic, induce demand.
We disagree on both those things.
No, well, you're wrong on the second one for sure.
I hate saying that, but no.
Wait,
you're not wrong. You don't think you're going to get more traffic?
You're going to get more traffic, but you're going to continue to get more traffic whether you expand that road or not. Population continues to grow.
So why not have another route, another
especially for
artery?
Yeah, like more industry.
What industry is going to come? Tell me what industry we're preparing for.
What was the college that KIV built over in Livingston? The medical stuff for medical equipment. Who knows? I mean,
so we don't know. We're just kind of throwing money in a hole and hope something comes out.
I'm not building it.
As a state, we feel like the best thing to do is buy how much is it?
Well, let's stop.
$730 million
lottery ticket, hoping that someone will come buy that land. If not, and let's be honest, we all know it in the room. Who's making the money? Who is making the money off that land? Is it the poor black families that are out there?
No, the folks who just bought the land. Yeah.
So if we know we're starting out bad, how do we expect any good to come of that? I mean, if it's starting out crooked,
you don't see the long-term benefit to having a major 4-lane highway run from Tuscaloosa down to Mobile. You don't see any incentive in that.
Nope.
Okay.
Perhaps you could maybe get somebody who actually wants to develop like big industry to, take part in helping with the road. But
like I said, the maintenance on it, and they're going to build, they're going to build the road for crap. So we're going to constantly maintain it. No, just
if elected, Tuberville said his administration would seek answers on that project, the Mobile Bayway Bridge, and the construction of 2 new mega prisons. Ugh.
So we're going to stop that now?
I don't know. We're kind of. I don't want to be part of the sunk fallacy, sunk cost fallacy, but ugh. Yeah, we are kind of in the middle. I think the Elmore County one's going to get built.
I mean,
but I don't know about the second one.
Aren't we kind of obligated from
I think they've got to finish that one now, right?
Yeah. Well, and there's the feds.
Yeah, that's what I said. I think we got to finish at least that one.
At least one, maybe 2.
Buy some time.
But that's just the first, hey, at the forestry meetup, association meetup, him laying out a few things. And, some of that stuff I actually think is all right. I think the devil's always in the details with these road projects. I see the virtue of you have another major artery that could go up and down the state.
Okay.
Seriously, it could help in a lot of ways. Instead of just widening 65, why not both? But then the question becomes okay, that's a lot of the a lot of that gas tax money is being eaten up by that project.
When's the last time anyone's driven quarter X or 22 or whatever it is they named?
What's that one?
The one that juts off from Birmingham and kind of goes northwest up to the Shoals.
I don't know. You're asking the wrong fellow.
Yeah, 10 years ago maybe, but no.
Yeah. Anyway, no, but like, what's the alternative? What is it? Is it 231 or no 280 from Auburn? Like, if I want to go to Auburn, Tuscaloosa, and I don't want to take the interstate,
280, and
yeah. So like, you're going to have some of these big state highways that people would use that west corridor to just go to a football game, for instance. Now that's not, it shouldn't be the main thrust of your selling point. But no, the point is, if you want to go up and down the state, you now have an alternative route, and you don't have to go and feed into the main artery. So there's a lot of different things to consider in that regard. But it's politics, man. It's like this. All of this will forever be dirty, and it's,
at some point they'd run it from Tuscaloosa up to the Shoals. I mean, Demopolis would at some point become the catalyst over there. I mean, I guess it is now, but it'd actually be a catalyst.
Got all the room in the world to do it over there in Demopolis.
Anyway, we got to hit a break here, and 272-9228 if y'all have a comment or a question about what we've been spitballing here. This part of the program brought to you by Dylan Rings. They are back open.
Yes, they are.
They are back open, and it's I'm looking at their Facebook. It's a floral rose stem custom band they're working on for a client. And so they're asking, what can they bring to reality for you? And actually, if you go to that Facebook page, you can start to see the process. Like, Josh is a true artist and like just kind of a mad scientist too. And so many of the ways he can make stuff from scratch. Like, you could have a dream about something, this guy can make it a reality. Or he actually gets to work on the metal on, say, this floral rose stem custom band. He can do a digital rendering of it. So here's the plan. Here's what it's going to look like. You can have it modeled to match your skin tone, these sorts of things. And then again, he can make it a reality. And this is just one example of the many things he can do there, what they can do there at Dylan Rings. Great inventory, of course, but also they can do spa treatments. They'll buy old jewelry off you, do appraisals. The point is, they do it all. Stop by Dylan Rings today. That's 119 Brown Springs Road here in Montgomery, just off of Atlanta Highway. And be sure to tell them that Joey and Eddie and Byron, those fellas on the radio, sent you.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com.
When it's time to replace an old window or door, you want expert craftsmanship and proven experience. You want Davis Door and Sash. Right now, take advantage of our limited time promotion. 10% off materials on new energy efficient doors and windows. Voted best in the River region for windows and installation in 2024 and 25. Davis Door and Sash would love to work for you. Call 334-288-6010 or visit davisdoorandsashalabama.com. Davis Door and Sash, the perfect fit for your home.
Trustworthy, accurate, immediate. Carrying your voice across the river region. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
How you conduct yourself in a democracy?
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. 272-9228. You want to get in on the conversation? That's 334-272-9228. Let's go to David. Hey, David. How you
What up, David?
Good morning, guys. Or
How you
good
doing, man?
afternoon, I guess.
Good afternoon.
Good. Hey, quick litmus test on that corridor in West Alabama. Just simply ask the trucking companies, would you use that corridor if it was built?
Good question.
Simple as that.
That's actually a pretty good idea. You could kind of anticipate what's going to be used with.
yeah, I don't think they would, but, ask them and see. Ask UPS, ask FedEx, ask Wiley Sanders, ask, any of them. And, Hunt, any of those. I just don't see them using that, because if you're coming in from the West, you're using 10, 40, or 20, and obviously you're coming down 65. So I just don't see it pulling that much traffic.
Well, it depends on where you're going. It really does.
I mean, if it's a more direct, like I said, direct shot to the beach or to the Mobile, if I'm a trucking company, it's going to save me some money, certainly.
Yeah, if they're willing to do that. But again, that's who I would ask. I'd just ask them and see what they say.
Bad idea.
And have they broken ground on any of this? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I think it's just been kind of all in the planning stages. So the coach is going to have a chance to look at this.
Well, that's good.
Yep. 10-4. Thanks.
Thanks, David.
Let's go to Soldier Boy. Hey, Soldier Boy.
What up, Soldier Boy?
What's up, gentlemen? I use the term lightly.
Yes.
Of course.
Especially Captain Speedo over there. Oh.
We all have our moments.
I haven't posted it publicly.
Some of us have. I'm getting ahead of it. I don't care.
Oh, good.
Sexy
I got a
is what
trivia
sexy is.
I got three questions to ask you, all three of you. Are you ready?
All right.
So win some prize. All right. First is, what is the percentage of Somalians in Minnesota that are on state or federal assistance?
I would bet upwards of 75% or more.
I'm going to go with 100.
85.
God, you guys are close. 81%.
Yeah. I can see that, man.
Okay.
I could really see the 100, to be honest.
Second question. Are you ready? How many players have put their name in for the portal as of today?
Oh, I have no idea.
Good Lord.
Too many is my answer.
Yeah. Yep.
It's 1,100.
Oh,
damn.
my God.
I was going to go over 1,000.
There's some people who ain't going to get picked and selected, and some teams are losing 26, 27
I was
players.
going to say, some people are going to be losing their roster.
And this is, by the way, why I'm rooting for Ole Miss.
Yeah, me too. Ole Miss.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Some of those kids don't even have a choice if they enter the portal. They get told they're going to enter.
And Byron, this one's for you, okay, Byron? Are you ready? You should win this one, Byron. Okay. How many Soviet soldiers have died since the Ukrainian war as of today?
Soviet, 0.
No.
You said Soviet.
How many Russians?
Russian,
like
yes. That's the Soviet Union doesn't exist anymore. That's right. Russians. How many Russians have lost their lives to this Ukrainian war as of today?
Mm-hmm.
Any guess?
No guesses.
1.2 million.
Holy cow. I wouldn't have guessed that high if I did guess.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what
Now,
to believe in terms of those figures.
And 998 have lost their lives last month. I'm sorry. Here's my question is to that, okay? You haven't really gained anything, but yet you've lost 1.2 million. I tell you, I don't think Europe needs to be worried about Russia's army. They don't even have enough to fight Ukraine. They won't have enough left.
No, they shouldn't. They shouldn't worry about Russia's land army, but they should be very worried about some capabilities of Russia.
Well, not only
Have
that,
you seen?
they're quick to throw the white handkerchief out. Let's not forget the Europeans.
They had a video on yesterday. It was pretty wild. It looked like a freaking UFO and on X-Files. China had its first stealth bomber flying. Had no tail on it, smooth like a disc almost.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and it is freaking wild. And I said, I wonder where they got that technology. They stole that from.
Yeah, they did.
Probably our B-2 bomber, I'm sure.
Yep, 100%.
And it looks very similar, but it flies by computer only. It has no like
pilot?
the B-2, no pilot. It's correct.
Mm-hmm.
No pilot and no wingtail at all.
Yeah, it's
I mean, it's a disc.
the advance, especially in military technology and operations, not just for our nation but worldwide, is a bit astounding. And I think everybody, for the most part, was wrong about Russia-Ukraine, especially as it drug on through the years, because you now see all this new technology and the drones in particular. It's a bloodbath, man. It's a meat
really
grinder.
is.
I just can't get over 1.2 million people. That's unbelievable.
Yeah. Well,
Eddie, Joey, you should be able to find yourself a Russian wife real easy now on that website.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that would suit me well, like a cold Russian winter.
Let's get buy one, get one free.
Yeah.
Right. And there you go.
What do you say? Buy one, get one free?
Buy one, get
one
free. Rather special.
Get two Russian.
Well, I appreciate the call.
I tell you what,
and appreciate you being patient.
Two
man.
Russian wives, you're going to have a clean house, man.
That's very true. See
Appreciate
you, man.
it, dude.
That's some disciplined children.
See you, Soldier Boy.
272-9228. Again, if you want to get in on the conversation, this part of the program brought to you by James Cole and Cole Plumbing. And they're at Cole Plumbing. They're ready to help you with any and all of your plumbing needs. Could be you got a big old problem.
Yeah.
Big old water leak. Big old gas line leak.
I found something over the holidays that you didn't expect. Now it's there leaking in the yard.
Well, they understand how to get the problem done. They have the technology there, unique to Cole Plumbing, that allows them to get the problem solved with minimal discomfort to you in your home. They're not going to tear out a bunch of drywall, dig up a huge hole in your yard or trench trying to find it. Now, that again, they can do it with precision and expertise, but it's not just the big emergency jobs.
No.
Say you got a drippy faucet.
That's right. Or a running toilet.
Yeah.
Or it's time to replace your hot water heater and you're thinking about
a tankless. Yeah.
Right.
Or it could be your garbage disposal stinks and it doesn't really chew up anything.
Just
or
hums.
Could be, hey, I want a fancy like Japanese toilet I saw on the TV.
The Totos, yes.
Or maybe I want new accessories added to the shower and all this stuff. Any of your plumbing needs, they can help you out there at Cole Plumbing. So y'all can check them out today at coleplumbing.com or go ahead and save their number 279-8919. That's 279-8919. And just remember, folks, when you have trouble with your bowl,
call on Cole, Joey.
We'll be right back.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusada, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. President Trump speaking today with House Republicans on how to maintain their majority in the 2026 elections. He says, if nothing else, they should win on the basis of the fact that he's done a lot to improve the cost of health care, including reducing the price of prescription drugs. Meanwhile, the president says he was saddened by the death of GOP Congressman Doug LaMalfa of California, describing him as a great member. LaMalfa was first elected to Congress in 2012 and passed away at the age of 65. The U.S. has dropped the number of vaccines it recommends for every child. Deputy Secretary of Health and Human Services Jim O'Neill stresses that that will not do anything to restrict access or for the cost of vaccines. The jury's still out over whether developments in Venezuela will bring down energy prices. Oil production could increase, but it could take a number of years. This is SRN News.
Everybody loves the season of giving, but now the season of paying for it is upon us. That not so wonderful time of the year when millions of Americans open their credit card statements, stare in horror at the balance, and resolve then and there to find new ways to save money. If you're among those Americans, why not start by cutting your wireless bill in half right now with Pure Talk's Saver Plan? It's easy. You'll get unlimited talk, text, and 3 gigs of high-speed data on a super fast nationwide 5G network for just $20 a month. Just dial pound 250, say Mike Rowe, and you'll save an additional 50% off your first month. Ho, ho, ho. And if you're active or former military or a first responder, you'll save an additional 20% every single month. That's pound 250. Say Mike Rowe for the gift that keeps on saving from America's wireless company.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by McPhillips Schimbaum.
My name is Aaron Luck, a partner with the law firm of McPhillips Schimbaum. If you or someone in your family has been seriously injured by the negligence of someone else, call me directly.
262-1911. Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. We've got a forecast that takes us back into the 70s for the next few days. I've got us around 74 today, a dry day, limited sunshine. Cloudy at times tonight, overnight low temperature down to about 50, partial sunshine. How about mid-70s on Wednesday and also on Thursday? Could be some isolated showers on Thursday, but the main event, rain and thunderstorms, become likely by late Friday into Friday night. Our next storm system. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
The holidays may be over, but the bills don't have to weigh you down. Let ASE Credit Union help lighten your financial load with our special post-holiday loan options. Visit us online at yourasecu.com or stop by one of our branches to learn more. Terms and conditions apply. Federally insured by NCUA.
From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, these are today's top stories. Police have made an arrest in an early Sunday morning stabbing in Montgomery. The incident happened at an apartment complex in the 3500 block of McGee Place Drive, where a fight broke out in the parking lot over loud music at 5 a.m. 20-year-old Shania Bonner is charged with first-degree assault. The unidentified male victim remains in critical condition. Senator Tommy Tuberville officially filed the paperwork to run for governor on Monday morning. The former Auburn football coach said he did not expect to go into politics, but now he is ready to transition from national to state government. It's time to come home and worry about the state of Alabama, Tuberville remarked. A bill has been pre-filed to ban gender discussion in Alabama classrooms. House Bill 23 would ban discussion of gender identity or sexual orientation in public school for pre-K through 12th grade. HB 23 would also require school staff to call students by their biological sex at birth pronouns. The legislative session begins 1 week from today on January 13th. From the Blue Water Broadcasting News Center, I'm Sky Mosley.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
Pizza's here. Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Welcome back. 272-9228 if you want to get in on the conversation. Let's go right to the phones and talk to Eddie. Hey, Eddie, how you doing?
What's up, Eddie?
Hey, man, doing fine. I couldn't call y'all before Christmas, so Merry Christmas and
Merry Christmas.
Happy New Year to y'all.
Same to you.
Thank you.
But I heard y'all talking about Blue Cross and Blue Shield.
Mm-hmm.
And anyhow, my wife and myself, we're both retired now and on like Social Security.
Mm-hmm.
So anyhow, you know, they take over $200 a month, Social Security does, out of her check and out of my check for Medicare. Mm-hmm. On top of that, I have Blue Cross as my secondary coverage, and it's over $400 a month for me and her. So we're paying over $800 a month every month for insurance. And then I hear all these people bitching about the ACA, how much of a spike in their costs they're going to have. Well, hell, everyday Americans like us that are on retirement, they're kicking our butt too. So it's not just those folks. And
yeah, something's got to give.
Where I'm come from.
Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah, something's got to give, and I think there are some things the state can do, but of course we're all swimming in the same national soup on this healthcare problem.
Yeah, but I just, you know, all these folks complain about how ACA folks, their premiums are going to go up. Well, they're not the only one. The rest of us that aren't on that, ours is going up too.
It's true.
It's a racket, man.
It is. And how's the service? You getting better service now that we're paying more?
I can't complain now. We have good insurance, good coverage. I haven't had any trouble. I just had bypass surgery here
glad to hear it.
1st of October. And, you know, I can't complain about my coverage, but still, you know, I mean, it's plenty high. You know, if you figure $800 a month at 12,
yeah.
And then what the insurance company, you know, they get these deals with the hospitals. Like my bill was like $250,000 for all they did on that bypass, but the insurance, they settled for around $20-something thousand. But if I didn't have the insurance, and I had all this done, they wouldn't give me that same deal. So that's the thing in a lot of it.
Yeah, agreed.
But anyhow, that and I thought I had something else on my mind, but I've forgotten it now. But I just wanted to bring that up and give you my spiel on it. Anyhow,
Well, I appreciate it, Eddie.
All right, man. Y'all have a good
call.
day.
See you, bud.
272-9228. Again, if you want to get in on the conversation, it's 334-272-9228.
So this is something I'm just learning about the American dream.
Yeah.
Say you worked hard your whole life. You kind of bought a house. You paid for your house. But when you go to retire, first few years seem to be really good. But after that, the medical care, the upkeep, and we don't talk about that. And as somebody that's in their 50s now, I'm seeing it, and it makes me very nervous.
Wait till you hit your 70s and 80s.
Well, that's why while we were on vacation, I looked into that cruise, the worldwide cruise. A lot of people are doing that because it's honestly cheaper than renting. And your food and everything.
Do you have long-term health insurance?
Well, here's the thing. Now, there's of course a thing. They have a dock in the box on the boat, but you're docking almost every day in a different country. So you can arrange medical care, and I'm sure there's a system set up. But I'm telling you, as someone that's at this age now, it's starting to make me a little nervous. I know I'm going to sell my house. I know I'm not going to live there till I die. You can't afford it,
right?
And
well, you can't do the upkeep, and also stuff stops working. Like if you got stairs, good luck.
And that's another thing, the upkeep. And I run into that in my business a lot, of where people downsize. It's not that they don't love their home anymore. It's just the upkeep.
Think about how many 3-4 bedroom houses were built, 20 years ago that are going to sit on the market in the next 15 years because of how fewer families are actually out.
And we talk about that a lot, where there should be, I wish there would be a builder that would step up and just start building some 2-bedroom homes. And you don't have to have a retirement neighborhood, just that style home in that neighborhood in a good location. And that would really lift up a lot of people, get a lot of people moving.
By the way, this just came to mind because I pass it every freaking day coming to work. That little development across from where Fresh Market is and Adams Drugs right here on Perry Hill, that little development over there right next to the Montgomery Academy Elementary School, wasn't that meant to be residential for years, and they just laid an egg?
Yep.
And so I think they're finally starting to develop that and get businesses there, which makes sense. You're seeing a few like dentists and a few other spots cropping up there. But yeah, it can be a dangerous game.
Building right now, I mean, not to knock builders or anybody, but it's expensive, dude, and it's only getting more expensive. It's only getting more. And the only adjustment seems to be that anybody can make is hope interest rates go down.
I think they will be.
They will. In my mind, that's coming in the future, but also, and I hope it works out with the Venezuela, gas prices.
Yes.
If we can get gas prices, and not to be crazy, if we can get them back around $2, $1.50 to $2, we are in the gravy, folks.
Honestly, not to put my foot in my mouth, gas isn't the thing that I worry about that much. And I'm on the road a pretty good bit.
Right. But it affects everything in the sense of, like, when we had our pizza business, we were charging extra gas tax because gas prices were high. Everything went up, and then they added more to that. And so to me, energy prices, I didn't realize until I got older, but energy prices really can break the common man. There's just no
absolutely.
make or break.
100% agree with that. I'm just talking more from the standpoint of I can make more calls. I can have more Google meetings and stuff like that. What I can't skip on is my medical. That's a fixed cost.
It's honestly, that's something, again, as I get older, that's something I worry about, because that's when that train's going to come.
Yeah.
Now I want to shift gears here too. Well, the whole Venezuela thing, and there's so many angles to this. In a second, I definitely want to play some of these clips.
You ready to make a run to Venezuela?
Make a run to Venezuela?
Man, we can be cowboys in the jungle, baby.
Did you see last night there are all these like anti-aircraft and like all sorts of gunfire heard in Caracas?
Yeah.
And it turned out it was like one of their own drones they were freaking out about. They are freaked out right now.
Did you see
the operation? Like, leave out all the politics, long-term consequences. The U.S. military, especially under this leadership, do not F with us.
No.
We know how to do things that nobody else can do.
Did you see the autopsy that they kind of laid out for the media, how they conducted it?
Mhm.
It was impressive.
Very impressive. Or did you see the videos of the, like it was some guy just live streaming in Caracas and all of a sudden the power just goes out.
Yep.
Just shot out. Yeah. And it's all was diversion, like with the F-35s and so many other things. It's like, wait, we have the capability to just take their power down immediately?
It's so cool to see the citizens respond in a positive way. I mean, between that and Iran right now, is
And now, who do you guys think next to fall?
Very well could be Colombia. I got a Rubio clip from actually a few months back.
Colombia or Cuba first?
Probably Colombia. Cuba just they've lasted for so long. I think they're
Here's
pretty
the big
tough
thing
folks.
with Cuba, though. Their power industry, again, or power companies are so old, they run off crude oil. Where were they getting most of their crude oil from?
Well, it's a combination of you cut off dirty oil money and dirty drug money, and a lot of this stuff starts to grind to a screeching
Can we
halt.
go after the leader of the cartel?
That's what I'm waiting for.
Well, this was one leader that we just
No, I'm talking
arrested.
about the I'm not
Oh, you mean Mexico?
No, I'm talking about the two bros down in Venezuela and Colombia.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Not the puppet politicians that they have.
Yeah, that they're running it. But you don't think those guys are about 700 feet underground right now?
No, and also it seems, and I could get into this, the Trump administration is not doing this like we're making the world safe for democracy crap. They
I'm
ain't
down with
doing
it.
that.
Yeah, I'm down with
some
what
of the
they're doing.
media is trying to spin that that way. So you're going to have this Nobel Prize winner Machado, but this is from the New York Times. Why Trump isn't like immediately go and put in Maria Corina Machado after you take on Maduro. And Trump was persuaded by arguments from senior officials, including Rubio, who said that if the United States tried to back the opposition, it could further destabilize the country and require a more robust military presence inside the country. A classified CIA intelligence analysis reflected that view. Senior U.S. officials had grown frustrated with Machado's assessments of Maduro's strength, feeling she provided inaccurate reports. They also grew skeptical of her ability to seize power in Venezuela. Richard Grenell, Trump's envoy, met with Machado's representatives and asked them to arrange an in-person meeting with Machado in Caracas and for a list of political prisoners they wanted liberated. But the in-person meeting never happened. Machado, despite promises from the American delegation that she would be protected, refused to meet with Grenell. Over time, the relationship deteriorated, according to people briefed on the interactions. Machado and her team ignored the request for a list of political prisoners. Grenell repeatedly pressed Machado to outline her plan for putting her surrogate candidate, Edmundo Gonzalez, into office after she was barred from running. He grew frustrated when she expressed no concrete ideas of how to put the democratically elected government into power. Machado was upset that Grenell did not forcefully denounce Maduro as illegitimate. Grenell told colleagues that such a statement, while true, would have undercut his diplomatic outreach. Categorical rejection of any talks or contact with Maduro's government has been a bedrock of Machado's political strategy, but it has crippled her ability to build a broader coalition capable of enabling her bid for power. So it looks like what instead Trump and team are going to do is like, we'll deal with whoever wants to deal.
Yep.
We don't care about all the past sins, but the oil flow, the dirty oil flow stopping, the dirty drug flow stopping. And we built the oil facilities here and infrastructure.
Problem with it. That was ours. That was American companies' property that was stolen.
Well, and they can bring them up to a capacity to where it's like it's going to be much better for everyday people in Venezuela too.
But I think it makes a lot of small men like Murado, whatever his crapping name is, go, hey, you know what? We might not want to be taking American property anymore.
So
Remember Mexico.
It's looking at the world as it is and not trying to project some idealistic like
BS.
Democratic BS.
Yeah.
It's more like, no, here's what we want.
Yep.
And we're willing to help you in all sorts of ways. And if you refuse, look at what we just did to your so-called president.
Power is a universal language.
Yes, it is. Now, here's another angle to this, because this is clear. I was saying yesterday, Marco Rubio's baby. So, Viceroy of Venezuela, the assassination plot that made Marco Rubio. In 2017, Marco Rubio was placed under police protection when Venezuela's security chief was accused of plotting to assassinate him. The former Florida senator had long been a thorn in the side of Nicolas Maduro's regime, taking to the Senate floor in 2014 to scold the Obama administration for its quote-unquote shameful failure to sanction the strongman leader. A decade later, the U.S. Secretary of State finally got his revenge when the U.S. military captured Maduro in a daring pre-dawn raid. Dubbed the Viceroy of Venezuela by the U.S. media, Mr. Rubio, who has taken on an ever-growing list of titles in the Trump administration, serving as National Security Advisor, Acting National Security Advisor, and U.S. Archivist, may just have added another one to his ledger. For the U.S., the extradition of Mr. Maduro to the U.S. marks the culmination of an extraordinary pressure campaign that began all the way back in September. For Mr. Rubio, a politician who frequently describes himself as a son of Cuban exiles, building his political identity on his family story, it marks the climax of a lifelong ambition to restore democracy to Central America. This is part of his DNA. It's something he has worked on his whole life, a former aide said. His parents passed away without ever seeing freedom. He fundamentally believes in freedom and democracy because that was taken away from his family. And by the way, before I keep going with this, and I could find the clip, I guess. You know how the screeching harpies on The View, how awful they are? God, yes. In particular, Anna Navarro, like, oh, but Joe loves Hunter. And, you know, the whole, like, Anna Navarro shut up Whoopi Goldberg.
Did she?
Yeah, on an issue she actually knew.
Shocker.
That her family had ties to. Anna Navarro's like, I'm glad the dirty, murderous son of a bitch is gone.
Is that right?
Yeah. And like, shut up, like Whoopi Goldberg's doing the normal, like left Democrat, like everything Trump does is bad. And she goes, no, shut up. Yeah, maybe you can argue we shouldn't have done it in this way, but whatever. I'm glad this son of a bitch is done.
Yeah.
And it's like, wow.
I think that's a lot of people's thought.
Like somebody who actually has a personal stake and they get very reactionary and right wing all of a
It's like
sudden.
when they understand the reality of the situation.
Yeah, when they're involved in it.
Right.
Yeah.
So the Secretary of State is said to have played a vital role in steering the Trump administration towards ousting Venezuela's leader. Now, with no long-term successor to govern the country of 29 million people, the president has tasked Rubio with helping to, quote-unquote, run Venezuela, fix its oil infrastructure, and usher in a stable government to add to his long list of responsibilities. The transition process will not be easy, but there is no one more capable in the U.S. government than Secretary Marco Rubio for the moment, said one former advisor. Known as the virtual Secretary of State for Latin America during Donald Trump's first term, Mr. Rubio's proficiency in Spanish and close ties to Latin American leaders and the Venezuelan opposition make him a natural point man for the president. Described by sources as a Latin America whisperer, Mr. Rubio allegedly had a direct line to the president during his first term when it came to the socialist governments of Cuba, Venezuela, Nicaragua, and others. He organized a meeting between Trump and the wife of the jailed Venezuelan opposition leader in 2017 and received weekly briefings about the administration's crackdown on Latin American governments. His sharp criticism had been a source of frustration for Mr. Maduro, who had branded him the craziest of the crazies and whose head of security forces was said to be behind a plot to assassinate Rubio. This is according to a U.S. intelligence memo. It sent shockwaves through the senator's orbit, one former aide recalled, adding that Mr. Rubio was unperturbed by the threats. Although it was never proven, the threat prompted federal officials to provide Rubio and his family with round-the-clock protection. Central to the success of Saturday's high-stakes operation, insiders say, is the close relationship between Trump and his Secretary of State. And so this is like just watching this unfold over the years, and but especially this year. Yeah, Rubio, this is in particular his baby. And if, like, okay, you threaten me and my children, my wife, my family.
Got nothing for you then.
You can kind of see why he's so dogged in this. And I don't think they are, like, I think we've had a schizophrenic policy for decades to Latin America.
Yeah.
Where it was this, what's the rule? It's not that you make a good impact. Say you're working at the State Department, or you're working in the CIA, or you're working at the Pentagon, whatever, or you're new aide for the president, like you're the Secretary Clinton or whatever. It's not that you make a good impact. It's just that you make an impact.
Got to make an impact.
So there's all these little like things that get spun up. And then, of course, the president and other folks might trigger and go, yeah, follow up with that groundwork you laid. But it doesn't mean we had a coherent policy when it came to toppling this government or helping this group out. Like, look at the Arab Spring fiasco that started in the Middle East. That was not exactly a well thought out plan. No. Very different compared to what Trump and team were able to pull off in just this first year in the Middle East. Completely different. And I think they're taking that same sort of very, very strategic approach that Venezuela is the one that we hit this domino, the rest will fall. And it will not require a full-on invasion. It will not require us being embroiled in all this stuff. And yeah, I've saw a lot of my libertarian friends. I'm sorry, kidnapping this guy, as they say, arresting this awful dictator after a 2-hour operation without an American being killed, and a lot of Cuban security forces learning very quickly they can't stand up to us.
Right.
Like, that's not the same thing as invading Iraq. No. It's just not. It's not the same thing as bombing Libya for 7 months and taking out Gaddafi. It's just not. So, like, again, anything can happen. Let's let it play out. But the hysterics around this, I think, are nonsense. Right now, to me, this is just a clear win and shows a competency as well as a sort of a personal level stakes. To your point, when you see people dancing in the streets, when you see folks that are normally just Democrat like harpies doing talking points, go, no, I'm glad the son of a bitch is out. Like you see, like this was a good thing, and people should wake up out of their idealistic partisan bullcrap and go. There have been millions of people from this region screaming for that a-hole to be taken down. And God love that he is. And we're not going full bore like, oh, let's overthrow the whole government and put all our people. No, we're just saying, who's next? Who actually wants to make a frickin' deal? Yeah. Because we're willing to deal. But if not, you're next.
I agree with everything you said, but the part about that being the first domino and the others will just fall.
I think they'll fall in line. I don't know if they'll fall.
Even if they do fall, to your point earlier about who's going to take their place, like all these people down here or down there, excuse me, there's so many different warring factions that someone's going to rise and fill that power vacuum.
Yes.
And greed is greed. And, you know, all the sins that we have here, they have down there. Plus they have the drug trade still at their disposal. So unless there is true reform economically down there and they have a different crop than just, you know, cocaine or fentanyl or whatever it is they're pushing for China and whomever else, it's not going to change that much. No, it's just going to be a new player.
New crazy.
But the alphabet agents, CIA, they do their best work, in my opinion, down in South America. Because go back and look at the history, man. It's always social communism and keeping that out away from the United States has always been goal number one.
Though I would say this,
great priority.
Like the point of view of our law enforcement, intelligence service, military, like used to be very hardcore anti-communist. But the way I would look at it is this: it's almost Americans fighting Americans with Latin America as the battleground. There are a lot of Americans who, with a lot of money and some in the government, who are supporting more of the socialist stuff.
I think it's more Americans fighting Russians, Chinese, whomever else.
Through them.
But there are a lot of Americans that want the socialist governments.
Oh, yeah.
And they fund, and the media, clear, like the amount of ridiculous nonsense thrown in particular Javier Milei in Argentina by Western media. It shows like, yes, there is, and it's crazy to think, but it is obviously folks living there in Latin America, but it is in some ways a ideological war that bleeds out from the United States.
How much money do you think USAID gave to Colombia last year?
Oh, yeah, right. Well, and you speak of the next dominoes. This was, I think, actually about a month ago. But this is Rubio being asked about President Petro, great name, the arguments going on right now over oil of Colombia.
Usted acaba de decir que no espera o que no es la intención de Estados Unidos que las diferencias con el presidente Gustavo Petro generen afectaciones para la relación con Colombia. Pero la verdad es que sí las han generado. Colombia fue desertificada, el presidente Donald Trump ordenó
Anybody who speaks Spanish here?
He said something about Trump.
suspensión de recursos de cooperación para nuestro país con un atentado años y con entender
en estos esfuerzos.
Parte de esta administración.
No, pero que esto no se trata de izquierda ni de
No,
derecha.
Rubio,
Esto se trata de una persona que simplemente no coopera con nosotros en estos esfuerzos. De eso se trata. Al final del día, el pueblo colombiano va a escoger el próximo presidente.
Well, it's just showing off at this point. But here's in part what he said. He warned the relationship has collapsed due to Petro, his refusal to cooperate in the attacks on Trump. When a president orders not to collaborate, we cannot ignore it. This is not left or right. It's cooperation or total rupture. And so essentially Trump, and there's clips of Maduro before he's arrested saying, I had one conversation with him. It was a very pleasant conversation. What did he say, Mr. President? He said, Mr. President. I said, Mr. President. And it is in fact pleasant, and I haven't heard from him since. But it's very clear that like Trump will do the charm offensive. Trump will make deals. All these folks we just made deals with in the Middle East, they're all Boy Scouts, right? No, this is not how we're doing this.
Our guys making the deals aren't Boy Scouts.
No, I agree.
Yeah, but if the U.S. president gets a hold of you, I don't care what president you think you are, and says, look, here's the last deal I'm putting on the table for you. You can go away nicely, or something bad's fixing to happen. And it's Trump of all people. It's not old man Biden. I listen to the guy. You know what? Yeah. I'll go to my villa on the beach here. It's been real knowing you, because look what happened with Noriega. I mean, take
40 years.
Right.
And that's probably what Maduro's going to get.
I think so.
And by the way, he was visibly shocked the amount of like rights afforded to him in the courtroom yesterday.
But did you notice all the changes of he had like 6 different I mean, he's doing a fashion thing from the helicopters to the courtroom. He had like 20 different outfits.
And it was reported that like he wakes up and he says to his wife, I think I hear aircraft. They enter in and arrest him immediately. It was that fast. Like they didn't realize what was even happening.
I think
How'd she get bruised up,
I have no clue.
They got some bandages on her, but they won't say.
She probably started scratching. And
that's what I'm thinking too. I would have loved to see that
possible.
Fight. Hey man, who doesn't want a woman that's going to stand up and fight for you when if she's abducted by an American army?
If she's Spanish, you don't have a choice, brother.
Let's go to line 1. You're on the air. Who's this?
Hey guys, I'm glad Eddie's back. I just wanted to ask Eddie, when he was on vacations and all this went down, was there any locals that were praising or not praising the fact that Maduro went down? And let me ask another question, and I'll let Eddie, answer that. While he was on vacation, was that here in America, you got the Democrats protesting against what Donald Trump did, and then you got the Venezuelans themselves that are here in America protesting against them.
Yeah.
And what I'm saying is, what do we think about all that? In other words, especially when you talk about the enemy within and who's getting money from who gets, anyway, that's
right. Appreciate it.
My main thing was I'm glad Eddie's back.
Yep.
Eddie, what happened while you was on vacation?
Too much.
All right.
Thank you, man. So it was talking with, I got a lot of friends there, local Jamaicans. They kind of appreciate the fact, or the ones I talk to anyway, that eyes are looking towards them now. They live in a very third world country as well.
Yeah.
Lots of struggles. But it also makes a few of them nervous, because their big thing was, and it was Marvin that brought it to my attention, what about Cuba, Eddie? What are y'all going to do with Cuba?
Yeah.
And I'm excited to see something happen in Cuba, but Jamaicans know if Cuba becomes like a little America, what's going to happen to Jamaica?
Yeah. They're thinking long term as well. Maybe it could, it could help the entire region, including
I would
Jamaica.
hope so. I really would.
Like you get rid of kind of like this weird tin pot, dirty economy,
right?
And let it actually develop economically.
That's what most of them need. But and unfortunately, Jamaica still got so much strong Chinese influence that they had a medical ship come over after Melissa, and everybody knows that medical ship did nothing but bring in stuff that they wouldn't have to pay duties on. They brought in equipment, they brought in everything. So,
what a mess.
Need to get them out.
Now I want to turn here. This is Stephen Miller. On with Jake Tapper, and my God, Stephen Miller just spanks this fella. But let's listen in.
That is true. The United States of America is running Venezuela. By definition, that's true. Jake, we live in a world in which you can talk all you want about international niceties and everything else, but we live in a world, in the real world, Jake, that is governed by strength, that is governed by force, that is governed by power. These are the iron laws of the world.
But are you saying
since the beginning of time?
But in terms of day-to-day operations in Venezuela, that is acting President Rodriguez, right? It's not some sort of American emissary.
What I'm saying is, we'll keep going here, Jake. So I want to say what I'm saying, and you'll follow up. But what I'm saying is just one level above that, which is that by definition, we are in charge, because We have the United States military stationed outside the country. We set the terms and conditions. We have a complete embargo on all of their oil and their ability to do commerce. So for them to do commerce, they need our permission. For them to be able to run an economy, they need our permission. So the United States is in charge. The United States is running the country during this transition period.
If that's true,
obviously that doesn't mean that President Trump is setting the bus fare schedule inside the country.
So
doesn't mean that President Trump is assigning the K-12 curriculum in the country.
Oh, that's so good. That's
Stephen Miller
but
said,
who
"We
do
got
you
this, son."
Who do you think right now, honestly, is in charge over there? Who is there?
It's my understanding. It's almost like Maduro was more a figurehead, and it's kind of like a mafia thing. So it's 50 families.
They're just letting it run,
and there are a few folks like that have positions of power, and they have their little fiefdoms. And I think what's happening is like all of them are a little freaked out. Number one, and the Trump team, and I'll get to the Miller clip here in a second. Where a lot of folks, for all the public posturing still going on from the new acting president, and no, they're very much cooperating behind the
That's
scenes.
what I wondered, but I've heard that they're going after some people they think cooperated with them, and if that's the case, I hate that, but they got to clean up their own mess.
Now this continues on like this. Tapper trying to say, but you just you arrested a president in the middle of the night.
First of all Venezuela experts agree. All Venezuela experts agree that it would be absurd and preposterous for us to suddenly fly her into the country and to put her in charge.
Machado.
And the military would follow her, and the security forces would follow her. This is not a serious. It's not even a serious question.
So should there be an election?
Let me. If you give me the floor for 30 seconds, let me tell you what we are doing here, Jack. The United States, this is sort of foundational. The United States is using its military to secure our interests unapologetically in our hemisphere. We're a superpower, and under President Trump, we are going to conduct ourselves as a superpower. It is absurd that we would allow a nation in our own backyard to become the supplier of resources to our adversaries, but not to us, to hoard weapons from our adversaries, to be able to be positioned as an asset against the United States rather than on behalf of the United States.
Sovereign countries should be able to do what they want to do.
The Monroe Doctrine and the Trump Doctrine is all about securing the national interests of America. For years, we sent our soldiers to die in deserts in the Middle East to try to build them parliaments, to try to build them democracies, to try to give them more oil, try to give them more resources. The future of the free world, Jake, depends on America being able to assert ourselves and our interests without apology. This whole period that happened after World War II, where the West began apologizing and groveling and begging,
I don't even
and
know
engaging these
honestly
vast
what you're talking
reparation
about right
schemes.
now.
What I'm talking about, Jake, is the idea. And by the way, you do. I know you love doing that smarmy thing, Jake. And I was hoping to be better than that this time.
I asked you about if there should be an election.
Exactly.
I asked you if there would be an election in Venezuela. That's what I asked. I said, why was the president so quick to dismiss Machado? You answered that question. And then I said,
the objective, Jake, is security and stability for the people of Venezuela. With our help and leadership, that country will become more prosperous than it has ever been in its whole history. Venezuelans,
but the woman running Venezuela right now is part of the Maduro regime.
There will be conversations, Jake, about all of these guideposts along the way. The reason why I was giving you that speech, which I know you didn't want to hear, is because you're approaching this from the wrong frame. This neoliberal frame that the United States' job is to go around the world and demanding immediate elections be held everywhere, immediately, all the time, right away. To create these vacuums.
That's not what I think, but you invaded the country. Went into the country and we seized the leader of Venezuela.
Damn straight we did.
And I'm saying,
we're not going to let.
So is the U.S. going to have new elections?
Jake, is that we're not going to let Tim Pot communist dictators send rapists into our country, send drugs into our country, send weapons into our country.
Okay.
And we're not going to let a country fall into the hands of our adversaries. The future of Venezuela, working with America, is going to be so bright and so incredible and so positive, and we'll have a conversation about everything that you raised. But the priority right now, as the president has been made clear, is a judicious, thoughtful, careful transition process to secure a great future for Venezuela and to secure a great future for America.
All right.
And let's just take a moment and just
No.
acknowledge, Jake, that what we've witnessed
Yeah.
under President Trump's leadership this last week is one of the greatest foreign policy and military victories this country has ever had.
And so long as they don't use Dominion voting machines.
Right. I heard that last night, too.
Damn. Yeah, Tapper just got. And there's more, folks. There's more. Here, I got to play another one before the break. And then Tapper has the gall to ask him about Greenland.
Oh.
And, well, that one's quite funny.
You know, it's a good day at the office anytime you can just throw out damn straight, you know?
Yeah, damn straight we did.
Yeah.
Now, here is something that Miller just wants to be very clear on.
There's going to be some posturing that occurs when a nation has been so thoroughly defeated in this way. The United States of America, think about this, Jake. The United States of America has encircled this nation for months. One of the largest naval armadas in history has been stationed off its coast.
Yeah.
Fighter jets have been encircling the island. We've been engaging in kinetic lethal strikes against Maduro's drug boats and trained Arauco gang members leaving the island.
Yeah.
We have launched a complete oil embargo of the ghost fleet, the dark ships.
We've
and
been
now
covering
on
all
top
of it.
of that,
Yeah.
and now on top of all of that, right? Maduro is sitting in a jail cell in New York, as is his wife.
So
of course there's going to be, this is very important though, of course there's going to be some posturing.
Okay.
Without giving anything away, I want to be very clear. Very clear. The government has sent messages. This is such an important point, Jake. To the Secretary of State, to our senior U.S. government official negotiators. They have sent message after message making clear that they will meet the terms, demands, conditions, and requirements of the United States.
Okay.
And I want to be very clear about that. There's going to...
Yeah. The point is, over time, we might get to elections.
Right.
And maybe Miss Machado can do what she could be a leader. But right now, she's playing media games.
Mm-hmm.
She actually doesn't have the levers of power. So the folks that do have the levers of power, we just thoroughly defeated and embarrassed them and made them freak out to where they're trying to shoot their own freaking drones last night down.
And they still missed.
And yes.
They still missed.
So obviously, behind the scenes, despite the posturing, they're like, okay, please, Mr. Rubio. Okay, what do you want? What are the steps? Because it's either that or you're going to be arrested or dead.
Yeah. Choice is yours.
And a lot of them are like, you know what? I'd rather be alive.
I love America.
I'd rather have a flourishing country and business.
Yeah.
Let me step up.
And that's the other thing. Honestly, most of them, if they're going to lose power, they're going to lose money. It's power. And a lot of these people, that's what they live for.
Well, we got to hit a break here. When we come back, there's more of Stephen Miller and Jake Tapper because we invaded a country and all that stuff. We invaded them. And what about Greenland?
I don't know.
What about Greenland? Are y'all going to invade Greenland? This part of the program brought to you by Montgomery Men's Health, and they're at Montgomery Men's Health. Well, they're ready to help you fellas out as you enter into the new year. It could be you've got low T problems, or it could be you got ED problems, and it affects your relationships, your confidence, and even your career can be affected by these sorts of things. Online folks promise, convenience and discretion, but the treatments are often just generic, sometimes even unsafe.
Mm-hmm.
No more excuses, though, guys. In 2026, Montgomery Men's Health has urologists and providers focused solely on ED and low T the right way. No unproven snake oil or peptides without solid research. Since 2022, they've been helping men reclaim their confidence with safe, effective treatment. Their urology foundation means freedom to practice medicine the right way, not confined by one-size-fits-all pills. And did you know there's treatments that can help you maintain what you've got? That's right. Just like going to the gym to maintain muscle, there are ways to keep ED and low T at bay without a pill.
Yep.
So if you're starting to notice things getting shaky, don't wait. Things can get worse if you procrastinate, if you ignore them. It's time to show up in your family, in your life, in your job. Turn your tomorrows into today. Call Montgomery Men's Health at 440-3663. That's 440-3663. We can always book online in under 30 seconds at MontgomeryMen'sHealth.com. Montgomery Men's Health for every man in every season of life. And be sure to tell them that Joey, that fellow on the radio, sent you.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Hi, this is Bo Goodson from the Goodson Group with your Real Estate Minute. Are you getting ready to put your home up for sale? Remember the 6 Ps. Prepare your home by deep cleaning, painting where needed, yard work, decluttering the inside. Present your home to the market through the experienced realtor who knows how to market the home and get it sold. Price the home at fair market value of what the home should bring in today's market. Your realtor can guide you in pricing the home to sell, not sit. Pay for part of the closing cost and provide a 1-year warranty. Buyers today don't have the down payment and all the cost of buying a home without some help. Prepare to look at offers from the marketplace and accept the best offer for your needs. And 6, place your trust in experienced professionals, including your realtor, closing attorney, and mortgage company. For all the details, call Bo Goodson at the Goodson Group, 221-2883. And remember, we are now hiring agents, both new and experienced. Call me today for an interview. Bo Goodson, 221-2883.
I'm Jim Smith with Adams Drugs. At Adams Drugs, we offer a wide variety of services, including delivery, compounding, wellness clinics, and immunizations. Now is the time to visit any Adams Drugs location and get your flu shot. Getting an annual flu shot can help prevent you from getting the flu, reduce the severity of symptoms if you get the flu, and prevent serious complications such as hospitalization and death. Getting your flu shot at Adams Drugs protects you from getting sick, but it also makes sure that those around you, especially those at high risk, remain safe. Each year, up to 49 million people in the U.S. contract the flu. Depending on the flu virus's severity, deaths as a result of flu complications could skyrocket to 79,000 people nationwide. Visit us at adamsdrugs.net for a location nearest you. Adams Drugs is your local, independently owned Health Mart pharmacy. Health Mart, taking the time to listen and care.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by Wiley Sanders Truck Lines.
Go to work for a family that puts God and family first. Wiley Sanders is looking for experienced dump truck drivers. Call them today, 855-777-9785. Drive for Wiley Sanders Truck Lines and be part of the family.
Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. We've got a forecast that takes us back into the 70s for the next few days. I've got us around 74 today, a dry day, limited sunshine. Cloudy at times tonight, overnight low temperature down to about 50, partial sunshine. How about mid-70s on Wednesday and also on Thursday? Could be some isolated showers on Thursday, but the main event, rain and thunderstorms, become likely by late Friday into Friday night. Our next storm system. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
Budget Floors and More has the best prices. Carpet as low as 69 cents per square foot. LVP starting at $1.29 a square foot. Sheet vinyl as low as 65 cents per square foot. And the lowest prices on flooring installation supplies. Budget Floors and More across from Delray Publix. All the headlines the mainstream media won't touch. Your News Talk station. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
In person than Kamala.
Fat broads and horse-faced lesbians.
Up, silly woman.
Joey Clark.
Welcome back. Okay, so that little speech Stephen Miller just gave about we are a superpower. We're going to act like a superpower in our own backyard. We are basing our actions on the iron laws of power that have been there since the beginning of time.
Okay.
I think there are a lot of folks in Europe and a lot of libs in this country who thought, well, that sort of nastiness is over. Like we can just rely on international law, right? And on diplomatic means stuff. Did it work with Russia?
It does not work, brother.
Y'all sat there and acted like, oh, we're just in a different age, end of history. And then the Russians just, despite the millions dead, they took a lot of land. Because they could. Doesn't mean they have the right to it. Nope. Doesn't mean God ordained it or anything like that. But they did it. Because you were asleep at the wheel and not strong enough to deter them in the first place. And that's something I have come to believe, shaken off the stupid low-T libertarian. there's a lot of beauty to the libertarian philosophy, but there was this low T mentality of if you're harmless, no harm will come to you.
Yes.
And that's nonsense.
The problem with libertarian ideals is you think you can rationalize with
that too.
with everyone. I mean, it's
Right.
truly one of those more principled.
Right. But, well, and the beautiful thing, if you are strong enough and you have enough force to bear, you won't have to use it. Then you can sit down like gentlemen and have a conversation. Then you realize, though, that some people are playing games and they don't want to have a conversation. They're not acting in good faith. So it's that whole frame that's got all these folks just freak the hell out. Like, what do you mean? Like all the stuff that that was going on with Alexander the Great and then all the way back from the beginning of time, Stephen? Like, yes. Like we're still in this fallen crack creation of ours. Thank you, Adam. But that means, what would a lib ask next? After you see Stephen Miller give this speech of we're the superpower in our region, we're going to act like a superpower, we're running this place. Well, the next obvious question is, are you going to invade Greenland? Let's listen in to the question and Miller's response.
Position of the U.S. government since the beginning of this administration, frankly, going back into the previous Trump administration, that Greenland should be part of the United States. The president has been very clear about that. That is the formal position of the U.S. government.
Right, but can you say that military action against Greenland is off the table?
It wouldn't be military action against Greenland. The Greenland has a population of 30,000 people, Jake. The real question is, by what right does Denmark assert control over Greenland? What is the basis of their territorial claim? What is their basis of having Greenland as a colony of Denmark? The United States is the power of NATO. For the United States to secure the Arctic region, to protect and defend NATO and NATO interests, obviously Greenland should be part of the United States. And so that's a conversation that we're going to have as a country. That's a process we're going to have as a community of nations.
So you
I'm
can't
not
take
gonna-
it off the table that the U.S. would use military force to seize Greenland. You
I
can't take it off
understand,
the table.
Jake. I understand you're trying very hard to, which again is your job. I respect it. It's great to get exactly the headline, right? That catchy headline.
I'm trying to
that
get an
says-
answer to the
that says
question.
that says Miller refuses to rule out the United States should have Greenland as part of the United States. There's no need to even think or talk about this in the context that you're asking of a military operation. Nobody's going to fight the United States militarily over the future of Greenland.
One
The
last question,
doesn't
Stephen.
make any sense.
Right, unless Denmark starts getting their Viking blood back going, but I highly doubt that.
You don't think Russia would have a problem with us moving in on Greenland?
Yeah, they wouldn't like it, but and this is why they want to do it.
Yeah.
And for folks who are like you're so used to seeing that world map, you
Flat
grew up
map?
with it, the flat map, get a globe, or better yet, go on Google Earth
Oh, there.
and look at the Earth
Yeah.
from the north, like you're looking down on the North Pole, and you realize immediately how freaking close everything is. Like it is right. Russia and Greenland are like right next to each other, and you go, oh, no wonder there's this competition for the Arctic.
Yeah.
No wonder the United States.
I mean, I understand why we want it strategically,
Right.
But just saying that we want it and it should be, the 51st state. the
Russia
30
won't like it, but they'll have to get over
Okay, well, the 30,000 people that live there have already kind of voiced their opinion. Now they haven't voted, but overwhelmingly they want the status quo to stay the way it is.
Sure, they do.
Yeah, but you've got other figures too.
Yeah, like
I've got a guy went on because the Brits right now, if you watch British media,
Mhm.
it's
they're
awful,
hysterical. It's like, how dare the United States
Awful.
act like an empire? And it's like, oh, don't make us whoop you like Yorktown
They
again.
need it just to clean the BS out of what they going on. You can't even put a flag up half the time now.
you can't even. I mean, they can't even say anything.
No,
the police
you're
will
going
get
to,
sent.
and I read an article while I was on vacation that said soon Americans could have to worry about traveling over to Britain and being arrested because of something they said here. Do it.
Now, this guy went on GB News, named what is his name? Jorgen Bosen or something to that effect. Jorgen. Ooh.
Jorgen.
But he's a native there of Greenland, and he's going to be one of the figures. Yeah, because the 30,000 people will have somewhat of a say, but right now they don't even have that much of a say.
Thank you. 30,000
And that's
people
actually
to-
the point this guy's going to make.
Yeah, but how big is
It's
that
like
landmass?
you could say you want the status quo, but you didn't vote in the status quo.
Well,
You don't control most of your land.
Jamaica didn't vote in the status quo.
Right.
They're Jamaican, but I'm pretty sure they don't just want to become the United States. The 51st.
They would take us up on that. In a
Yeah,
minute.
they kind of.
Oh, would they?
Yeah.
Yeah, they like
Okay.
it.
Yeah.
But here, let's listen in. This is.
But I get your point. But yeah,
This is one guy who wants to become part of America.
Jason Miller talking to GB News there, describing this talk of the US potentially taking over Greenland as just a silly distraction.
No, I think he has a good point, Mr. Trump, because we living in the Arctic, and the Arctic is so big, and also the Danish cannot handle that surveillance of the Arctic or also Greenland. The ship is around 40 years old, or they have a lot of problems. So that situation is not good for Trump because we are the front yard of U.S. and we are next to the Russia, and the Chinese want to go through the Northwest Passage in the winter, summer, and winter time now.
Jorgen, you actually facilitated the visit of Donald Trump Jr. to Greenland last year, didn't you? I think it's exactly a year tomorrow, actually. What was it like having the US there? Because they were already showing an interest in Greenland at that point.
I think it's very important that we have the voice. We have never been heard from the European and with the world, because we was annexed in 1953 without referendum from Denmark. So we have the highest suicide rate in the world, and crime and the poverty among the people. Even with the same with Kingdom of Denmark. If you go to Denmark, this is one of the 5 richest countries in the world. But if you go to Greenland, is another situation. So people are tired of that. That's why the Danish politician and the elite in Greenland are very afraid to lose control for what they have. Right now, it's Trump's interest is very good for the indigenous people, because we are not recognized as a people in Greenland. We are forced to be Danish citizens, and this have to be reminded of Keir Starmer from Greenland as an Inuit. We are not recognized people, and please, European, just leave us alone. We want to work with the Americans. The European has been working with the American in 80 years, so it's now our time and turn. So,
It's interesting because it is 30,000 people. It's not that many folks.
I'd love to see a revolution and them stand up against the Danes, and then we could, then
I don't think
they could come over.
I really don't think it takes much.
Well, and I don't think they're going to become a state or anything like that. It would be like another territory similar to Puerto Rico and whatnot. But
same as Cuba.
They would definitely get a lot better benefits. And yeah, when you're talking 30,000 people, and the status quo, he made that point. It's like, yeah, the folks currently in power in Greenland love the status quo because they're in power.
They were able to take it for granted.
But when he says they're annexed in 53,
yeah,
it's not like this is an ancient thing. Like,
we tried to purchase Greenland 4 or 5 times in the 1900s.
Yeah.
Who we were trying to buy it from?
Danes.
It was the Danes.
Yeah.
They wouldn't sign. We got a Trump now. We got a real deal negotiator now. We might make this.
We tried to buy it in 2025, 2019. Can't remember before then.
Anyway, we got to hit another break. And first, though, this entire hour brought to you by Alabama Home Mortgage. And, they can help you out.
Yes, they can.
In this new year, whether you're looking to buy a home, and you know what? Interest rates are going to start coming down.
They are going to start coming down.
They're already gotten a little lower.
Yeah, they've been trailing down probably for about the last 6 weeks, but I think we're going to see a really good change here.
And that is going to create a new, buying market.
Yep.
And it's also going to create a new, environment for refinancing.
Mm-hmm.
And so whether you're looking to refi or buy here in the new year, you got to go with Alabama Home Mortgage. They're going to get you the best possible deal, whatever your goals might be. And especially if you're a veteran, they specialize in helping veterans take advantage of the best deals in town, the VA home loan programs you veterans earn through your service. So you'll check out Alabama Home Mortgage today. It all starts just with a conversation. 567-4223. That's 567-4223. Or you can always apply online at myalabamahomemortgage.com. There is a difference in mortgage companies. Let Kim and Madeline prove that to you today.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings 6 till 9 and afternoons 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Dinner at Epicure isn't just dinner, it's an experience. The best steaks in the Southeast, guaranteed. The Brazilian flap steak, you won't find anything to compare. And if seafood's your thing, the hand-breaded shrimp, triggerfish, and American farm-raised catfish are as fresh as it gets. And pasta, let's just say this isn't your garden variety pasta. It's Epicure, flavorful, fresh, and unforgettable. An extensive wine list, 58 beers on tap, and pick 2 dinners for just $52.99. Epicure, Tuesday through Saturday, 5 till 9. Taste the difference.
Are you tired of the mainstream media's biased reporting? Do you want to stay informed on the news that really matters to you? Look no further than 1819 News. At 1819 News, we bring you the latest in Alabama news, politics, sports, culture, and more. We've assembled a team of journalists with Alabama values dedicated to the truth and the truth alone. Visit us at 1819news.com today. That's 1819news.com. Subscribe to our newsletter. Honest News, Alabama Values.
Welcome to Eclectic Coins, Montgomery's largest coin dealer, specializing in buying and selling investment-grade gold and silver coins. And they have a large selection of rare coins and coins from around the world. Visit them at 543 Northeastern Boulevard or on the web at eclecticcoins.com. Eclectic Coins, where collectors who know go.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Alabama Home Mortgage. Alabama Home Mortgage, 567-4223. Visit them on the web at myalabamahomemortgage.com. NMLS number 1586368, an equal housing lender.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusada, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. Venezuelan officials say at least 24 of the country's security officers were killed in the dead-of-night U.S. military operation to capture Nicolas Maduro and bring him to the United States to face federal drug charges. Venezuela's Attorney General said Tuesday that dozens of officials and civilians were killed in the fire and that prosecutors would investigate the deaths. President Trump has huddled with House Republicans in a session that was billed as aligning their agenda at the start of a crucial midterm election year. The Republican president spent a lot of time today talking about old grievances and also talking about how much they accomplished legislatively in 2025. President Trump is lamenting the passing of Republican 7-term U.S. Congressman Doug LaMalfa of California. He was a reliable vote on his agenda. He passed away at the age of 65. This is SRN News.
Have you noticed losing weight is harder than it used to be? You're eating better and exercising, but the scale barely moves? The real problem isn't willpower, it's metabolic dysfunction, and standard dieting just makes it worse. PhD Weight Loss has helped thousands fix the root cause of stubborn weight. Take their free metabolic assessment at fixmyweightloss.com. Fixmyweightloss.com. It's quick, personalized, and shows why your body is resisting weight loss, so you know exactly what to fix. Visit fixmyweightloss.com. That's fixmyweightloss.com.
It's a new year. Ready for a fresh start or career reboot? At My Computer Career, prep for a more recession-resistant future in the high-demand fields of IT, cybersecurity, in months, not years, including AI. Whether you're starting out or switching careers, no prior training is needed. Attend school online from home or on campus. Go to mycomputercareer.edu to take the free career evaluation today. mycomputercareer.edu. An elite CompTIA certification partner. Financial aid is available to those who qualify, including VA benefits.
Rich Thomas Weather is brought to you by McPhillips Schimbaum.
My name is Aaron Luck, a partner with the law firm of McPhillips Schimbaum. If you or someone in your family has been seriously injured by the negligence of someone else, call me directly.
262-1911. Rich Thomas Weather.
Well, hi, everybody. We've got a forecast that takes us back into the 70s for the next few days. I've got us around 74 today, a dry day, limited sunshine. Cloudy at times tonight, overnight low temperature down to about 50, partial sunshine. How about mid-70s on Wednesday and also on Thursday? Could be some isolated showers on Thursday, but the main event, rain and thunderstorms, become likely by late Friday into Friday night. Our next storm system. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
1819 News.
Congressman Mike Rogers is running for re-election to the U.S. House in 2026. Rogers has filed the necessary paperwork to run in the Republican primary for Congressional District 3. Rogers is the chairman of the House Armed Services Committee and enjoys the strong and early endorsement from President Trump for his re-election bid. Rogers says he's committed to completing the agenda started by President Trump to close U.S. borders, protect the unborn, unleash American energy, and grow the economy. I'll be back with more Alabama stories after this.
Did you know that 70% of people experience a potentially traumatic event in their lifetime, and that 6 out of every 100 adults face PTSD every day? Help us bring hope to these survivors by signing up for your Alabama Distinctive PTSD Awareness License Plate today. The great thing is you can sign up no matter when your current plate renews, and the first year is complimentary. All you need is your VIN number on hand. Drive awareness, drive hope, and customize your plate today at atease.org.
A Guntersville man has been sentenced to 200 years in prison for possession of child sex abuse material. 67-year-old Gary Greenwell was sentenced to 20 years for each of the 10 counts issued against him by the Marshall County District Attorney's Office. An investigation into Greenwell started after a tip was given to authorities by the Internet Crimes Against Children Task Force. It was all about an IP address where sex abuse material was being uploaded. Investigators found Greenwell to be in possession of 10,000 images of the child sex abuse material. A state lawmaker serving in the Alabama House since 2010 has now decided it's time to step away. State Representative Terry Collins will not be seeking re-election in 2026. Collins says the past 16 years has been the honor of her life, but now it's time to step out of the public spotlight and give someone else the opportunity to lead that House district forward. I'm Andrea Tice.
For more news affecting Alabamians, go to 1819news.com. And while you're there, subscribe to the daily newsletter.
This hour of news and views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Want that ride that is fun, affordable, and street legal? Check out ETG Outdoors in Montgomery. They have huge discounts on electric golf carts with many brand new units under 10 grand. New and used inventory, financing available, and they service what they sell. ETG Outdoors even provides lithium battery conversions and free delivery with purchase. Whether it's for the neighborhood, the farm, or just fun, ETG Outdoors, 7006 Vaughn Road, or online at etgoutdoors.com. Cruise smarter, drive electric. ETG Outdoors, your ride to freedom starts here.
As a mom, comforting my family is what I do best. Vicks Vapor Stick provides soothing, non-medicated Vicks Vapors in an easy-to-apply stick, and it dries fast, so there's no mess. I use it to comfort myself and my family.
Thanks, Mom.
Vicks Vapo Stick, soothing comfort for the whole family. And try Vicks Vapo Shower Max for steamy Vicks Vapors when you need more comfort for yourself. Use as directed.
The views and opinions of the following program are solely those of the host and other contributors. These do not necessarily represent those of Liberty Acquisitions 825, Blue Water Broadcasting, its management, staff, or any advertisers. It's time for Montgomery's conversational radio show. It's news and views on News Talk 93.1 FM. To join the conversation, call 272-9228.
Welcome back. I'm your host, Joey Clark. Good to have Eddie Bader and Byron Sheehy here back in the studio, gang back together again.
Back, Joey, but
yeah,
we could do this from the beach. Just saying.
Yeah, Neil, you wanna help me set that up?
Yeah, I got a place.
You do?
I mean, it's not mine or nothing, but I have a place we can do it from.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, it's
Well,
on the beach.
Now, do you remember getting your children's vaccinated?
Yeah, that's hard to watch, brother.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Like how young?
One of the specific ones I remember, I think he went in and he got 3 or 4 at one time. And that the first one, you know, it's your kid. The first one wrecks you when you're watching your kid just break down like that, but they're just pumping them in. They're pumping them in. And that was before a lot of the vaccine talk started coming. So I took it as I got him. I guess he's got him. But It breaks your heart watching your kid hurt like that.
Well, the Center for Disease Control and Prevention, the CDC, on Monday announced an unprecedented overhaul. I'm reading this from NBC News, so the framing might not be the most favorable. Unprecedented overhaul of the childhood vaccine schedule that recommends fewer shots to children. Under the change, effective immediately, the vaccine schedule will more closely resemble Denmark's. Wait, I thought it was unprecedented.
That's what I was going to ask you, Joey.
But you have a whole nation state that's a very well-developed place. Probably pretty good science and like medical standards there in Denmark. Yeah,
I would think so.
And yet it's unprecedented.
For here.
This is why I read from NBC News. But it will closely resemble Denmark's recommending all children get vaccines for 11 diseases compared with the 18 previously on schedule. Senior Health and Human Services Department officials said the changes are meant to restore trust in public health that spilled over from the COVID pandemic. The loss of trust during the pandemic not only affected the COVID-19 vaccine uptake, it also contributed to less adherence to the full CDC childhood immunization schedule, with lower rates of consensus vaccines such as measles, rubella, pertussis, and polio.
Polio. That was, as a kid, that's the big one I remember is polio vaccine.
That is a quote from the scientific assessment the agency based its decision on. The assessment said, quote, there is a need for more and better science on vaccines, though the new schedule doesn't say there are specific vaccines children should not get.
But isn't that still regulated somewhat by schools, your school system? You have to have that health certificate to enroll your kid in school. And I remember they had to have certain shots for that.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So what's changed? In Denmark, vaccines for the flu, COVID, RSV, chickenpox, hepatitis A, rotavirus, and meningitis aren't included in the childhood schedule. Denmark also recommends some shots, including vaccinations for polio, diphtheria, tetanus, and whooping cough, on a slightly different timeline from the U.S. The CDC said it will continue to recommend that all children get vaccines for measles, mumps, rubella, polio, pertussis, tetanus, diphtheria, hemophilis, influenza type B, pneumococcal disease, HPV, and chickenpox. Other vaccines, however, will be recommended for quote-unquote high-risk groups or recommended based on so-called shared clinical decision-making. Vaccines recommended for high-risk groups are shots for RSV, hepatitis A, hepatitis B, dengue, or however that's said.
Dengue fever?
Yep, and 2 types of bacterial meningitis.
I don't understand the chickenpox one, only because when I was a kid, you used to have literally chickenpox parties when you found someone in the community that had chickenpox.
Yeah,
you brought
same
your
with
kids
us.
over. So
even when I was a kid, that was.
I didn't know that was that was a vaccine now.
So, there's a lot of folks out there that are just mad that any change is being made, but Bobby Kennedy and the team are they were part of the Trump plan, the Make America Healthy Again thing that was sold to the nation. So.
Has he had much pushback on this? Do you know much pushback that's come just on this particular deal of withdrawing some of the vaccines?
Yes, there are definitely some folks. I might have skipped over some quotes here that
it was NBC, so I was surprised.
Right. Right. Well, here, I'll show you one. Dr. Yvonne Maldonado.
Oh, Maldonado.
A professor of global health and infectious diseases at Stanford University said there was an, quote, incredible lack of transparency behind the new schedule. There are no data, no papers, no discussions at all that are cited in this quote unquote exhaustive search. So we have no idea who made these decisions and why they were made now, she said. Dr. Jake Scott, an infectious disease specialist at Stanford Medicine, said the change could have a dramatic effect on vaccine uptake. It's really the most significant weakening of childhood vaccine recommendations, I would say, in modern American history. So yes, there's pushback. But it's often the same folks. I wonder if Dr. Jake Scott or Yvonne Maldonado, what did they say during COVID?
Good question, Joey. Very good question.
I would like to know.
Yeah.
Probably didn't have a problem with the science then.
Now let's go to line 1. You're on there. Who's this?
Hi, it's Debbie.
Hey, Debbie.
Hi. I have a real problem with all this. Why do we even have a mandate demanding that we have to give our children shots to start with? And if it is so vital, it should be something that the parents decide for their child. And it's really, the child that doesn't get vaccinated that's supposedly at risk. I just think that the whole thing is backwards. And not only that, when I was a kid, we didn't get that many vaccines.
I don't remember just
Not even close. And I don't remember seeing a person one that had polio, but then they renamed polio over and over and over. So we've always had it. It didn't get rid of polio. It just changed the name. That's from a doctor I used to work for, by the way, Dr. Wimpy. But that's not the point. The point is that it's, in my mind, a blacklighting. Do they really work? Is this something we are already immune to? Do we really need it? Yeah, with illegals coming across the border with these diseases, maybe so. But on an average day, I don't think so. And I think it's up to the parents, and that should be something that they hopefully will do a lot of research to find out if they think it's the most important thing for them to be doing for their child. I don't think it should be mandated by government.
I'm kind of with you on that one. The only, again, it goes back to, well, I think it can be that way for a while until you go to enroll your child in the public program of some sort. And they say, okay, you have to meet this criteria.
Right.
And you can, I'm sure there's some religious exemption and things like that, but I'm in the camp of, are these doing more harm than good? Can we?
Well, my child was autistic because of it. And it was a SID on the first shot, and a year later, because I wouldn't get him another one, it was autism. And then the second shot after that with the polio, that's when it was full-blown autism. So, no, I just really know that the shots were it, because I refused to give him any shots for over a year after the first one. And I'm probably thankful I did, but that was SID on the first one, and it was right away. I mean, he was running high fevers as soon as that shot was given, you know, screaming for over 24 hours. I mean, it was a horrible experience. And I just hated going through it again. And I had to go through it 3 times. And it's totally not right that they should force anybody to do something detrimental to their child when they know it's detrimental and they can't stop it. I just really, really think that's the bad way to do things. So, no, I'm not a proponent of it, especially when you're giving hepatitis B the first day they're born.
No, that's not going to be on the schedule anymore.
That is when you took off. Good.
Well, yeah, like a lot of this was a rollback of a lot of that.
Good.
Hey,
and as far as I know, I don't know of anybody that died of chickenpox.
The only thing I've heard about the chickenpox as an adult, I had shingles a while back, and they said, well, it's because you had chickenpox as a child, you had that virus in you, and you'll always have it.
Yeah.
The shingles was god awful, I ain't gonna lie.
Yes.
But I would rather risk it.
Well, and folks might be confused because you hear about 72 shots. It's 72 doses for 17 diseases was the old schedule. They've now gone to 11 core threats like measles and polio.
And then they add, bad things to these shots, a stabilizer that will definitely do damage, and they're giving more and more of it. So it's got to be causing more and more damage. That doesn't make sense. When does it become more lethal or more damaging than it's going to help? And we don't even know how much it helps.
To my knowledge, there's never been real, true findings of that. They just seem to have always added more to it. And even though, like yourself, you push back because of autism factor, that to me, that was a big thing a long time ago, but they buried that by saying, okay, we have the courts for that. The vaccination courts. And I think all that did was bury the problem.
Well, and so you're going from 72 doses to 23 doses, and they're talking about a longer timeline spreading this out more.
Yeah, because they start too soon. The brain has not developed enough on the child to be a good barrier for a lot of these things. The brain-blood barrier is not developed well. So everything you're putting in that child is going into the brain, and that shouldn't be happening either. I think it's 2 years. And so, I think in Japan, matter of fact, they don't start the vaccines until 2 years old. Why we do it so early, I don't know. But it's just not good science. If they're really following the science and really want to protect the child, they wouldn't start these vaccines as early as they do. It just doesn't make any sense at all. So, but anyway, my rant, I appreciate you letting me.
Hey, no problem. Thank you, Debbie. Good call.
272-9228. That's 334-272-9228. Let's go to line 2. You're on there. Who's this?
Hey, this is Jay. How you doing?
Good.
Jay, how you doing, bud?
Good. Yeah, she basically said everything that I was going to say, that vaccines, and I have a daughter who's a doctor and several medical professionals. Vaccines, first of all, there's too many. And secondly, we do need some vaccinations. There's been a measles outbreak recently. We see the efficacy of some of that, but there's been too many. And number two, they're pumping them into these kids at the day they're born, and that's what she said about the blood-brain barrier. That's one of the leading causes of autism. And there's a very good article, or not article, but a very good interview that was done by a doctor who has been studying this for years. It was on One America News or Newsmax earlier last year, not quite a year ago, and it was phenomenal. She explained scientifically what happens to children when they receive these vaccines at such a young age, and she was recommending, I think, 4 years old before they get the beginning of these vaccines, because it developmentally your body's not able to to handle that, as your previous caller said. So it's important. I think we're shedding light on it. We're not quite there yet, but I think it's helping. And I know for us, I think you mentioned it earlier, one of you guys did, the way that they mandate these vaccines a lot of times and scare parents into getting them is with school, public school, because you have to have your blue card, your immunization card. We homeschooled all of our kids, and we had pediatricians on the verge of threatening us. Now, my oldest is 30 years old, but they were threatening us years ago and saying, you have got to get your kids these shots. Otherwise, they can't go to school. We said, well, we're homeschooling. So then they started, it was veiled threats, and they were kind and smiling, but it was like, okay, you have to have, and we're like, well, we're going to wait, and we'll let you know whenever we want to get them back, vaccinated. And so we kind of pushed back, and that was back 26 years ago. So I think parents have that right, and they should. Unfortunately, schools in some of these liberal districts, they're going to push for that, particularly by the time they enter preschool or any type of pre-K or something like that. So
that goes along with a lot of their mantra. These kids are not your kids; they're our kids. And I don't like that at all.
Exactly. And you see now maybe why there's such pushback has been against homeschooling and things like that. This is part of it. It's a control, like you said, it's a control environment. But I think we're headed in the right direction.
Me too.
That's my call.
Appreciate it, Jay.
Thank you, Jay.
Call. And here is, I believe, Jim O'Neill. He's the Deputy Secretary of Health and Human Services right under Bobby Kennedy. And let's listen. And this was on, I believe, Scott Jennings' radio show. Let's listen to what he has to say about this change in the vaccine schedule.
It's an honor to be on your show and a pleasure. So, many people have noticed that the United States has recommended more and more vaccines for children every year. They've gone from 23 doses for 7 diseases in 1980 to more than 80 doses for 18 diseases now. That's a huge number of vaccines. Many parents are concerned that they're injecting their young, innocent children with a lot of medicines. They're not sure about the risks and benefits of all these. And many people have been asking questions. We've been looking at this all year. We've had the Advisory Committee for Immunization Practices do deep considerations of the safety record for certain vaccines. And the president last month asked me to consider what other countries are doing. He noticed that some other very developed countries recommend fewer vaccines for a lot of their children, and it seemed worth talking to them and seeing what their logic was. So I had the pleasure of having good conversations with health ministries. My counterparts in Germany and Denmark and Japan also talked with our career vaccine scientists at FDA and CDC. And a lot of our scientists wrote a long formal assessment recommending that we converge United States recommendations on the consensus recommendation vaccines of other countries. And I just signed a decision memo today doing that.
And so folks who want to say this is Looney Tune hour, this is crazy. It's like, what's your quibble with Japan and Germany and Denmark?
Oh, and honestly, with
Japan, these are very well-developed nations.
And Eastern nations in general, I'd like to look at that.
Japan in particular, I think it's just their culture.
It's a more protected culture,
the amount of sensitivity to say these sorts of things.
I even think I got a cold.
Pretty
I'm
high.
wearing a mask.
So we like struck the vaccines that have, is it Thermacell? Is that the preservative?
I have no idea.
I know that's a lot of issues. I don't know if that's a particular name, but I know that's a lot of issues with is the preservatives that are in them.
I mean, can we not just pass some
Can you have
order,
fresh medicine?
sign something that can't have any vaccines that's
Well,
got this?
and
in it?
this is the big thing that Kennedy's been trying to do is like actually have safety trials.
That's what I don't understand.
Yeah. And so we'll see, but this is I think a step in a more sensible direction without, some folks, as you just heard from Debbie in particular, like they don't want any vaccine. And Jay had a similar point, any vaccine schedule, but I don't think that was ever in the cards either. When you go back to what is now a norm amongst developed nations, as well as what just used to be done, while taking into account, okay, you are in a particular high risk category. This seems sensible to me, but honestly, I don't know. I don't have children. There's not this emotional part for me. And
well, you're torn because like with Justin, yes, he needed to get the vaccines. That's what we were told our whole life. And thank God all went well, but it was hard just watching him get shots.
Yeah.
I mean, that's just,
well, and I went and had to get a blood draw today, and I like to watch.
Me too.
I don't like being surprised.
I've asked the nurse one time how many people pass out. She said more men than women pass out.
Oh,
over
I've
the
fallen out before.
You don't like needles.
Well, a lot of it was more like the blood pressure.
Oh, yeah, the change?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Interesting.
Like, I've taken 2 steps and just fallen over.
Daggone.
Oh, yeah.
That's what they told me. I couldn't help. She's like, more men than women.
I was like, y'all are, that's silly.
Ba-boom. Let's go to line 1. You're on there. Who's it?
Well, howdy, you got anybody?
Hey, Paul.
What's happening, Paul?
And any 2 pies in a bag.
Yes, sir.
I'm glad y'all brought this subject up today because it reminded me of the late night talk show I listen to when I can. They've been talking about this for years, and I mean, they would have professionals in the field on the show being guest hosts and whatnot, and they have been saying the same thing that these people have been saying right here. But I would try to share the information with other people, and they asked where I got my information, and I didn't write the doctor's name down that was on the show or nothing like that. And I would say, the late night talk show, oh, don't you know that show's just for entertainment? That's just entertainment, blah, 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 blah. I says, all right. You go ahead and you go back and find the show because they got records of them way back. And you get that doctor's name and you call him and tell him that he's just an entertainer. But yeah, they've been talking about this for years. I'm glad it's finally come out to the general public. And I hope some of the people that told me I was listening to entertainment just get smacked right in the face with it. Later, gentlemen. Glad
Appreciate
you made it back safely, Eddie.
Thank you, brother.
Thanks,
See you, Paul.
And here is to do a little bit of a segue. Trump mentioning, it used to be it was medical science that transing your kids is like, the thing to do. Here's Trump saying, this was earlier today at the Trump Kennedy Center with all the House GOP. He's encouraging them to, we got to win the midterms, stop playing games, like we got to be focused. But at one point he does something that he says his wife hates when he does this. Let's listen in.
She gets up and they put a little tiny thing like this, little thing. And my wife, by the way, my wife hates when I do this.
This is him doing an impersonation of trans athletes.
She said, she's a very classy person, right? She said, it's so unpresidential. I said, but I did become president. She hates when I dance. I said, everybody wants me to dance. Darling, it's not presidential. She actually said, could you imagine FDR dancing? She said that to me. And I said,
oh my God.
That's a great line.
It was.
I didn't expect that.
There's a long history that perhaps she doesn't know. Because he was an elegant fellow, even as a Democrat, right? He was the attack by Japan. You know, he was quite elegant, but he wouldn't be doing this. But nor would too many others. But she says, darling, please, the weightlifting is terrible. And I have to say this, the dancing they really like. She said they don't like it, they're just being nice to you. I said, that's not right. The place goes crazy. They're screaming, dance, please. But the weightlifting.
So relate with him right now.
The girl gets up. And you see, I want to be more, but I have somebody watching. I want to be more effusive. I want to really, yeah. But she gets it. And drops the thing, walks off the stage crying. Her mother's crying, her father's crying. Guy gets up. He said, have you lifted before? A little bit. And he walks up. He could have gone ding, 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 ding. I think it was 112 pounds, right? It's crazy.
Okay.
I love how he made himself crack up.
I know. I love the fact that I'm the only man whose wife has to sometimes control him a little bit and say, baby, they don't do that. I'm like, baby, they're laughing. They're loving it.
That was a hell of a lot funnier than I expected, especially the FDR line. That's,
oh, man.
That's gold.
That might have been like the best, honestly.
Like this is, by the way, like you can say all the promises and all the politics, all the serious stuff. No, I think it's this guy's, he's one of the funniest people out there in public life.
Yep.
And even comedians are like, okay, that guy's freaking hilarious. Like the timing is just well done. Here is Trump in the same speech. Well, telling them stop playing games.
But these things are so important because you guys got to get elected. Because if you don't get elected, we have a country that's going to go to hell. So we can't play games. Ladies and gentlemen, the sun will rise tomorrow, and when it rises, we don't need this bullshit. We need to talk about favored nations. And your numbers are coming down at levels that nobody's ever seen. We inherited high prices. We inherited a mess. We inherited the greatest inflation in history. And you know what was knocking it down? The bad economy that we inherited. We inherited bad. We now have the hottest economy in the history of our country. We have $18 trillion being invested in the United States. You have, every one of you have car plants, AI plants, plants of all different types. There are, because of tariffs. I hope we get the good ruling from the Supreme Court. I only hope we do, because it's given us tremendous national security. So let me just finish up, because, you know, I weave. I love to weave.
That's where the clip ends. Yeah, and also, like, it was very clear he was very tired after when they did that press conference Saturday morning after the arrest of Maduro.
When you dropped the F-bomb in?
No. But he messed up his own line. He's like, some call it the Don Road document. And what he meant to say is the Don Road doctrine.
Yes.
But yeah, you can tell when he has been up and getting a little tired, but he looked very rested and in great spirits there. And again, that was at the new Trump Kennedy Center.
How do you feel about that, Joe?
I think it's fine. I think it's great.
I don't understand why people got their arms all in the air about it.
It's because anything he does, how dare he put his name on things? How dare he make history? How dare he's an awful fascist, terrible man who rapes women and assaults women. And
that's kind of what I figured they were putting out there, but I just want to make sure there wasn't.
Right.
I mean, who cares? Who cares? I don't care if he puts. I don't care what he calls it. To be quite honest,
I don't care.
You know my theory on all this, and it's why people are hysterical, because it's one example after the other. We're going through the death throes of liberal boomerdom. That's exactly what's happening. And you want another one? This just happened today. CNN had to report it. You want another one?
Give it to me, Daddy.
Another death throw?
Give it to me.
A stunningly fast end of an era for public media. After nearly 60 years, the Corporation for Public Broadcasting has voted to dissolve itself, forced to take the drastic measure after the Republican-held Congress voted to defund it at the behest of Donald Trump. The private agency has steered federal funding to PBS, NPR, and hundreds of public television and radio stations across the country.
I didn't think they really needed the money.
That was
I thought I
Sesame
remember
Street
hearing
that
that.
didn't need the money.
It was Sesame Street because they don't know how to market. They could have been billionaires, but
No, and there's going to be plenty of those folks, on those NPR and people. They'll still be around.
Terry Gross. Is
Right.
Terry Gross not going to make $450,000 a year?
If they,
probably will.
if they have talent, she will. I mean,
Right, that's the problem. There's no talent there.
Right. But it's like, oh, how dare you stop giving federal funding? Well, why?
Why?
I don't get federal funding.
And that's the thing too. It would be honest for
Fox
someone
doesn't
like
get
me
federal
that
funding.
traveled the world military. It was great to always have that kind of back home here every once in a while. But they twisted that.
Yes.
Back in the 70s, they started that political twist.
Yes.
And you could every report you could hear it in to the point of I didn't care anymore. I didn't
Right.
want nothing to do with it anymore.
And so that's another example of the death of liberal boomerdom happening before our eyes. And there are a lot of people who aren't taking it very well.
Yeah, I know.
I wish Stephen Miller would have told who was it, Jake, that he did the interview with.
Tapper?
Yeah. Or the White House calls him fake Tapper.
Yeah.
Fake Tapper.
Call it like Trumpiswela or something like that.
Trumpiswela. Oh, that's a pretty good one.
That's actually not bad. I like that.
Me too. I like that.
It's right
I like
next
that a
to
lot.
Trumpolumbia.
Dude, you need to get these messages to the man.
Slow hanging fruit, man. They can figure that out.
We got to hit this break. First, this part of the program, folks, brought to you by Bo Goodson and the Goodson Group. And there at the Goodson Group, Bo and his team are ready to help you whether you're looking to buy or sell a house property here in the River Region real estate market. Bo's been helping folks, buyers and sellers in Montgomery and the surrounding areas for about half a century now. And at the Goodson Group, they not only can help you with buying and selling property, but they have management services available should you want to rent out your home. Great idea in this market, but have the pros do it for you for reasonable cost because doing it yourself is a pain in the butt, pain in the neck. It's a pain. Instead, have the Goodson Group do that for you. So again, if you're looking to buy, sell, or if you want to change that property into a rental investment, check out the Goodson Group today. You can always go to thegoodsongroup.com or give them a call direct at 551-0225. That's 551-0225. Bo Goodson and the Goodson Group, great sponsor of the program.
Want to carry News Talk in your pocket? Download the News Talk 93.1 app from the App Store. Available on iPhone and Android. Never miss a moment. Download now.
Kick off 2026 with a money-saving deal at the River Region's top pizza buffet. Pizza Perfect. In January, get $5 off any large pizza. No matter how many toppings, you'll save $5. Pizza Perfect's buffet includes pizza as well as spaghetti, breadsticks, salad, dessert, and drink for only $13. The buffet is available Monday through Saturday for lunch and for dinner on Tuesday, Friday, and Saturday. In January, get $5 off any large pizza at Pizza Perfect, Coliseum Boulevard in Eastbrook, available for carryout and delivery.
For too long, Alabama's statewide news companies have shamed us for our conservative Christian values. Alabama deserves a news company that cherishes our culture, a company that isn't bought and paid for by the powers that be. 1819 News is that company. Run by Alabamians for Alabamians, 1819 News celebrates what is good and beautiful about our state while exposing those who work against our values in secret. Just go to 1819news.com to learn more. Subscribe to our newsletter. That's 1819news.com. This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
This is your roving reporter. Today I'm talking with a prospector. That's right, man. I'm prospecting for gold. You dig? No, but it looks like you do. And you know the first thing I'm going to do when I strike it rich? What's that? I'm going to hire David Ernest to be my money man. You mean everyone's favorite asset preservationist? That is correct, man. I'm going to call him up at 833-596-7233. 833-596-SAFE. You know, I've heard a lot of the good things about David Ernest. You know, he's the best money man around with over 40 years of experience. Experience is necessary, especially when you're digging for gold. That's right, man. And I can see that you don't have very much experience. What do you mean, man? Well, you have the little plastic bucket and shovel like a kid would take to the beach. Yeah, man. Well, I want to start out small and then kind of pace myself up until I strike it rich. Well, maybe you should call David Ernest first. You think he's got a shovel? Never know till you ask. I dig, man.
Hi, folks. This is Rick Clark with Clark Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing. I'd like to take just a minute to talk to you about our experience with Blue Water Broadcasting. One of the hot topics in our staff meetings is spending advertising dollars. If your company or firm is anything like Clark Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing, those dollars are limited, so you have to spend them wisely. That's why we choose Blue Water Broadcasting. Our marketing analysis has proven consistently that spending advertising dollars with Blue Water Broadcasting has contributed significantly to our bottom line. And for that, Clark Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing is truly grateful. So, if you want to spend your advertising dollars wisely, choose Blue Water Broadcasting and see the difference.
Our advertisers are our biggest advocates. Call us to find out how radio can increase your bottom line. Blue Water Broadcasting. Local folks helping local business.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
Weather, a service of H&H Carpets, where right now, get a load of this, listen close, you get a house full of carpet for $19.95 installed. Unbelievable. They're located at 6450 Atlanta Highway, just across from Walmart.
Rich Thomas weather.
Well, hi, everybody. We've got a forecast that takes us back into the 70s for the next few days. I've got us around 74 today, a dry day, limited sunshine. Cloudy at times tonight, overnight low temperature down to about 50, partial sunshine. How about mid-70s on Wednesday and also on Thursday? Could be some isolated showers on Thursday, but the main event, rain and thunderstorms, become likely by late Friday into Friday night. Our next storm system. From the Blue Water Weather Center, this is Rich Thomas.
We get Montgomery talking 24 hours a day. The River Region's most trusted voice. News Talk 93.1 FM WACV.
Joey Clark.
Kind of funky.
Welcome back. So let's get into something that I know has been a love of your life.
Oh?
I mean, of course, your lovely wife.
Yes. Best thing that happened to me.
And of course, you love your son very much.
Second. Yeah.
And your grandkids.
Yeah,
and all,
just going down
you
the
know,
list. Yeah.
But the Wall Street Journal reports today, in its business hospitality section, that America is falling out of love with pizza.
I just don't agree with this. What's taking its place? Chicken tenders?
Apparently, let me just read this straight up. The restaurant industry is trying to figure out whether America has hit peak pizza. Once the second most common U.S. restaurant type, pizzerias are now outnumbered by coffee shops and Mexican food eateries, according to the industry data.
7 in Wetumpka.
Yeah, well, some of that's just silly.
They're all good, though.
Yeah,
I'll
you're
give them
meeting
that.
up at the Mexican spot. I'm like, which one? Like,
Literally,
God,
last
God.
night, I called one and showed up to the wrong one.
And I think the best I've been to is your buddy's place.
Yeah, by far.
Really good. Yep. And then some others are like, what am I? This is awful.
I know some of them got to be cash cleaners. Is the nicest way I can put it. Yeah.
But apparently sales growth at pizza restaurants has lagged behind the broader fast food market for years, and the outlook ahead isn't much brighter. Pizza is disrupted right now. A chief financial officer and North American president of Papa John's International said in an interview, that's what the consumer tells us. The parent of the Pyology pizzeria chain filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection in December.
No.
Others, including the parents of Anthony's Coal-Fired Pizza and Wings and Bertrucci's Brick Oven Pizzas and Pasta earlier, also filed for bankruptcy.
Mm-hmm. A lot of those, especially Pyology, it was great when it started out.
Yep.
Look at their business model. And you kind of see what happened with a lot of them. And honestly, we got too many choices. There's too much, not being ugly, there's too much garbage pizza out there.
We have way too many choices in this country. You sound like Bernie Sanders.
Well, it's just.
But you're right.
It's not even
And
choices.
it's not high quality.
Garbage choices.
Now, there is something I wish, like, if you did a proper sit-down pizza place.
Right
You
now,
know what I mean?
One of the biggest things that's coming back is the, and they're starting to build them again, the original Pizza Huts, where they had the buffet, where they had the red Pepsi glasses. Those are starting to come back because
And
that
like
is
the shades
yeah,
on
the shades.
lighting.
They're literally bringing that
fixtures
back.
and- yeah.
But to me, you know, I'm a
maybe
pizza snob. So.
And it might be a bad business model to hang your head on what pastiche, though that seems to be all the rage.
Yeah.
But pizza was once a novelty outside big U.S. cities, providing room for growth for independent shops and then chains such as Pizza Hut with its red roof dine-in restaurants. Purpose-made cardboard boxes and fleets of delivery drivers help make pizza a takeout staple for those seeking low-stress meals. Today, pizza shops are engaged in price wars with one another and other kinds of fast food. Food delivery apps have put a wider range of cuisines and options at Americans' fingertips. That is true. And a $20 a pie for a family can feel expensive compared to the $5 fast food deals.
Yes.
Frozen pizzas or eating a home cooked meal, though I have to say, like frozen pizza,
I can't really find one that I like, man. I never really have.
And then you can do like Little Caesars, which is only good like for a minute after it's hot, and then it's just
Best
goes
thing
downhill
Little
real
Caesars
fast.
ever had was that bacon wrapped pizza. Okay. So they came out and they said, we got to close it down because we're losing money on it. Mark it up a couple dollars. I'll still buy it. It was the best thing you had going.
Yeah. But major pizza players are rethinking their businesses. Pizza Hut, Papa John's, and the parent of Papa Murphy's are considering potential sales or other strategic moves. Mid-sized chains, including Blaze Pizza and Mod Pizza, have closed locations over the past 2 years as they work to turn around their brands. California Pizza Kitchen was sold in December to an investor group for under $300 million. According to people familiar with the matter, that is less than the $470 million it sold for in 2011. Americans still eat a lot of pizza. Pizza chains generated around $31 billion in sales from their restaurants in 2024. The market research firm Technomic said, on any given day, around 1 in 10 Americans will partake of a slice, according to the agricultural department. Young people drive much of the consumption. Pizza's dominance in American restaurant fare is declining, however. Among different cuisines, it ranks 6th in terms of U.S. sales in 2024 among restaurant chains, down from second place in the 1990s. The number of pizza restaurants in the U.S. hit a record high in 2019 and has declined since then. Figures from the market research firm Data Central show.
Yeah, I think also with your pizza restaurants, a lot of them aren't just pizza restaurants anymore. It'll be a bar with a coal fire. So I don't know how they're classifying them, but I will say
Pizza's still delicious.
It's hard to find. There's very couple places here in Montgomery, and I don't want to give them out because then they're to get packed, but they are good, but they are few and far between.
Well, and also there is something about, like, you think it's hype, but when I was visiting friends in Boston, we drove up as we're going to Salem, Massachusetts. There is a Connecticut style where they were born and raised. Connecticut style coal fire, like,
totally
oh my
different.
God.
It's
awesome.
so good.
It's so good.
But
and it's like, how do you get that?
You can't mimic that down here. I wish somebody could. In fact, Portnoy, I watch him a lot. He's a pizza review
And I
guy.
agree with Portnoy on Little Italy in Auburn. It's great, sloppy, get drunk, drink
Good
a pitcher
pizza.
or
Good
two,
Greek
college
pizza.
pizza, but it's not. It's a little much if you're
kind of heavy, and a little doughy, and and it depends on what you want. Some people like me, and I think you're the same. I like that light, crispy pizza, but some people like that heavy. Deep
I don't
dish.
mind I love New York style when it's done.
Oh, me too.
Yeah. And I love your Detroit style when it's done.
Oh, I
the
love that too.
Like the crispy cheese
you
on
get
the
the thicker,
crust
yeah.
and the thicker thing.
They'll put some sauce on the top. Yeah.
Anyway, let's go to line one. You're on there. Who's this?
Hey, this is Phil C. I want to get in on the pizza conversation.
What you got, baby?
Hey, whoever these doing these surveys has never eaten at Midtown Pizza Kitchen.
That's another really good one.
Spot.
It's a good one.
All right. I mean, that is the best pizza on the planet. Plus, they do calzones and a bunch of really delicious.
Yeah, I usually get the pasta.
Look at their ovens. That's where they got a lot of people beat, and it makes a big difference in the pizza world. The oven.
Exactly.
Yep.
I mean, I could literally eat it every day.
Yeah, I'd prefer the Zelda pie if they still got that going on there. Like, I don't want something standard, like the funky gorgonzola and like the white sauce stuff. Yeah, it's good.
Well,
Sausage.
they can mix it up for you. They'll put whatever you want on there.
Oh, yeah.
You know, if you have it, obviously, but the crust is perfect.
Yep.
And if you feel like it takes a little too long to get a calzone at one of their stores, call ahead, place the order, show up about 15, 20 minutes after the call. You'll come in, sit down, they plop it on the plate. It makes everybody else angry as hell. And your food.
No, I was going there 2 times a week, like with Jack Campbell, when and after he passed, I just couldn't. I don't know. It's been. I've gone back a couple times, but it's just not the same without my friend.
I get it.
But they are. They're one of the best ones in town, no doubt.
everybody made pizza like MPK, there'd be one on every corner.
There you go. Well, appreciate the call. Happy New Year.
Thank you, Phil.
Let's go to line 2. You're on there. Who's this? Hello.
Hello.
Anybody there?
Good afternoon.
Afternoon.
Hey, guys, I just want to get on the pizza conversation also.
Okay.
3 pizza chains that are gone that I remember was Shakey's Pizza,
One of the best.
and Pizza Inn,
Yep.
and Godfather's Pizza.
Yep. Those were really good ones. In fact, we kept a Godfather's here in Montgomery up until maybe 10 or 12 years ago. I think there was one over on Atlanta Highway, and they were still a real legit Godfather's pizza. So, but they were the best.
I do miss those stores.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like right now,
All right,
you got
gentlemen.
what? Appreciate it, man. Appreciate the call. Like what? You got your Domino's. Like I usually just go with Domino's because it's right near the house and it's hot and it's. I mean,
And
when
I
it's
get it.
hot, it's
That's
tasty.
for a lot of people, but being in the pizza
Some people go
business-
Marco's.
Marco's isn't bad
because they got what those old world pepperonis
Yeah.
and
And that's
different
another
stuff.
thing too. It's what the little extras they have besides pizza that people get there too.
Yeah, and Papa John's ain't bad. It's been a while since I got in the Hut.
That ain't
the
bad.
Pizza Hut.
That's not. None of them are
Pan pizza's
awful.
pretty damn good.
Yeah.
man.
But I
it's
just
not the same as a great sit down place.
no, it's not. Not at all.
Let's go to line 1. You're on there. Who's this?
Hey, it's Kilroy.
Hey, Kilroy.
Hey, Kilroy. What's up, man?
Oh, not much. Some of us are trying to eat right for the new year, and you're making us want a damn pizza.
Yeah, I'm supposed to eat grilled chicken tonight, and I'm making myself.
Have you
want
had a
pizza.
grilled chicken pizza?
It's not the same as eating just grilled chicken.
We're supposed to have grilled fish fillets, but now I think we're going to Midtown.
It works.
I just wanted to say thanks a lot.
No problem, buddy.
You are welcome.
Hey, Happy New Year, guys.
Happy New Year,
Happy
Kilroy.
New
See you,
Year.
bro.
Let's go to line 2. You're on there. Who's this?
Hey, Joe, it's Josh.
Hey, Josh.
Hey, Josh. What's up, bro?
Oh, man, I just got done picking up my pizza pie from the old Rusty and Trusty Domino's.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was going for a single man's meal.
There you go.
Got that little 16-inch, $7.99. So, hey,
Tough to beat.
Not bad.
roll the dice.
Yep.
But, hey, 3 slices went down before I made it back to the farm, so...
So you're one of them guys too. I'll eat pizza in the car, which isn't safe, and it isn't. You're gonna eat it on you, but it's so good.
No, that's what it's made for.
I'm just not surprised on that age math at all.
All right, guys. Well, y'all have a great afternoon.
You too. Take care, Josh.
Appreciate you, Josh.
See you, bro.
Let's go to line 3. You're on there. Who's this?
This is Doc.
Hey, how are you?
Hey, I was just going to tell you there's a Godfather's down at Lenahatchee at the truck stop.
Is there?
Yeah.
Writing this
Very,
down.
very good.
All right, Godfather's at Lenahatchee. Road trip.
All righty. Thank you.
Thank you.
Now, there's one in there. I don't know if they're still in business or their hours are just irregular, but remember the day somebody brought by, can a brother get a slice?
One of the best pizzas in town. I know their hours vary a lot. But
they can do it because they're that good.
I went to their place one time. This is why I knew I was in love with it, besides the taste. The sign on the door said, if we're not open, we'll be here in a minute. We run also later than our hours suggest too. So feel free to come by later. To me, it's a community place, and that's in that area. It's great. And honestly, they got some of the best pizza in town. They had that pizza snow cone thing there, a pizza muffin.
All right. Nothing wrong with that. Let's go to line 1. You're on there. Who's this?
Hey, this is Bill.
Hey, Bill.
Hey, one thing no one's mentioned that's been gone for a while that I loved, and of course I love Midtown Pizza, it was that restaurant on Bell Street, kind of a diner, a Greek diner type.
Corsinos.
Yeah.
No, Bell Street.
Oh, Bell Street.
Back gate.
Oh man,
I know what
it was a steakhouse too. At one point, was it Jim's?
Exactly.
No, it wasn't Jim's. That was in Prattville.
See, it's been gone so long we can't even remember the name.
Yeah, I know, but man, they had the best pizza.
I remember going
They
there
had
too.
Around the World was fantastic. The Around the World pizza, and that's what I wish I could remember that place. I can't remember. But anyway, it was great. That's all I got to say.
All right,
Thanks,
thank you, Bill.
Let's go to line 2. You're on there. Who's this?
Joe, it is Daddy O. That's y'all talking about Tony's Pizza.
Tony, thank you.
Tone.
Yeah, they had the best KC strip you'll ever put in your mouth. Old Gus used to coat them with garlic and lemon juice and put them on that open fire.
Man, that sounds good.
It makes me hungry thinking about it. You know, Greg Thompson was a police officer. He bought it from Gus.
Mm-hmm.
If you remember, then he sold it. The property people have made him leave or something.
Yep.
What I understood. But hey, Eddie, I'm fitting to tell him, Joey.
Uh-oh. What you got?
I done seen him on that Facebook dating app.
No way.
No, it must be somebody impersonating me.
Well, no, I just said it. I've been on it the last couple of weeks just for entertainment.
Why are you matching with men? What site y'all on?
Well, let me tell you why I think Joey's been on it, because they tell you on that Facebook app the friends that you have, you know,
Yeah.
And Joey's been all over as a friend.
I had been, but that would have been like 2019. That would have been before COVID. I tried it. Yeah.
It's still showing up, and it's all on them 75-year-old women too.
That's how you know it's Joey.
Yeah, I thought to myself, he likes them older women, but that's getting a little up there. He got what's the old cliche? One foot on the banana peel, and the other in the grave.
Yep.
That's all right, Joe. We don't mind you liking them old.
No, some young people do anything for home ownership. So yeah.
Somebody got to love them. All right, man. I didn't want to take up more of y'all radio time. I just wanted to peek at you, but Joey, you might want to clear your name off that Facebook.
Probably a good idea.
You all over, buddy.
Well,
See ya.
appreciate it, man.
See you, Daddy-O.
Yeah, well, my internet history, I'm pretty screwed if somebody wants to blackmail me.
Yeah, but are you just like everybody else? So
Yeah, I am. But will everybody cop to it?
No.
Or just be like, yeah, I knew you
Joey
were
was the
dirty.
weirdo, not
I knew
yeah.
you were dirty.
Yep.
Anyway, yeah, I've changed. At least for the last few months, I've changed. Thank God, truly. Anyway, we'll be right back.
He may not know whether he's coming or going, but whether you're going to work or coming home, Greg Budell is there. Mornings, 6 till 9, and afternoons, 3 till 6. Only on News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Don't you love the feeling of coming home to a clean house? Let Southern Bell's cleaning service get your home in order. Families in the River region trust Southern Bell's because they know Callan and Jesse will show up on time and believe in cleaning the old-fashioned way. They bring all their own supplies and specialize in full-service, residential, commercial, vacant properties, and construction cleanup. Estimates are always free. Call Southern Bells today at 546-0715 or follow them on Facebook at Southern Bells Cleaning River Region.
This hour of News and Views is brought to you by our good friends at Cole Plumbing, 279-8919. Cole Plumbing is number one in the number two business. You don't have to dig a hole. They have proprietary pipelining technology. Ask them about their tankless water heaters. Remember, when you have trouble with your bowl, call on Cole.
If it concerns your community, you'll hear about it on News Talk 93.1. News Talk 93.1 FM, WACV.
Again, brought to you by Josh and Leslie Ryder there at Dillon Rings. And at Dillon Rings, they are a full-service jewelry shop ready to help you, whether you're looking to buy something from their great inventory, the great selection they have there, from high-end jewelry items, one-of-a-kind items, to that everyday jewelry, or maybe that starter jewelry that's real fun. It looks great, but it's not going to break the bank or break your heart if you mess it up a little bit out of having a night out on the town. But of course, they can repair stuff that breaks. They can do spa treatments for jewelry you wear all the time, and it looks like you've been wearing it for years and years. What if it could shine and shimmer like it's brand new again? And of course, do not forget about the custom design work. Josh Ryder, the man, is a true artist. And if you have something in mind, maybe you want to combine two pieces of jewelry, maybe you got a dream about one, or just want to have something truly unique that says, well, this is me. Check out Dillon Rings today. Just stop by 119 Brown Springs Road here in Montgomery. That's just off of Atlanta Highway. And be sure to tell Josh and Leslie Ryder Happy New Year, and that Joey, that fella on the radio, sent you. 272-9228 if you want to get parting shots in, though. We really only have like 2 minutes left, and that's the nature of the beast. I'm looking here at the updated headline here for 1819 News. And it looks like a new poll shows voters are still largely undecided in determining their candidate preferences for the Republican primary later this year. According to a survey conducted by the Alabama poll run by Michael Lowry, former chief of staff to U.S. Representative Robert Adderholt, Alabama Attorney General Steve Marshall, Secretary of State Wes Allen and former Alabama Supreme Court Justice Jay Mitchell lead in their respective contest. However, a large number of undecided voters remain in play in those races. The poll unveiled at the Alabama Forestry Association's public policy seminar on Tuesday at the Lodge in Gulf Shores also found, quote unquote, affordability to be a prominent concern among respondents. According to a release from the Alabama poll, the survey asked likely GOP primary voters what they considered the most important issue facing Alabama. Responses overwhelmingly pointed to cost pressures, with affordability-related concerns totaling 80% across inflation, cost of living, insurance cost, and economy and the jobs. So, yeah, me asking about Alabama Power and Blue Cross Blue Shield, yep, those are the big ones in the room.
Yeah.
But here are the key findings. Lieutenant Governor. At the time of the survey, A.J. McCarron led with 31%, followed by Wes Allen with 18%, Rick Pate with 8%, Nicole Wadsworth with 2%, 41% undecided. Of course, McCarron withdrew after this poll was conducted. In the U.S. Senate race, Steve Marshall continues to lead with 30%, followed by Barry Moore, who will join us tomorrow at 2 o'clock.
All right.
With 12%, Jarrett Hudson at 8%, Rodney Walker at 3%, and Morgan Murphy at 1%. 46% remain undecided, signaling substantial room for movement. The Attorney General race, the contest remains wide open with 72% undecided. Jay Mitchell received 12%, followed by an improving Catherine Robertson at 10% and Pamela Casey at 7%. Secretary of State remains 64 remain undecided. At the time the survey was conducted, Andrew Sorrell led Caroline Dobson 21% to 14%. He since said he's not running for Secretary of State. Andrew Sorrell is going to run for re-election for state auditor. And so you're seeing the big takeaway is most folks undecided. We're just starting to think about it, but affordability is on people's minds. Before I forget, I think he's busy. We couldn't get in touch with him.
Ray.
But y'all check out Prattville Carpet in the new year. If you're looking for a new floor, it could be new carpet, especially that soft stuff they got.
Yes,
or traditional hardwood, or maybe you're a gentleman and you want like an epoxy, like garage floor.
It's so beautiful.
Or like a back patio that flows into the backyard sort of
Love
thing.
something like
They have
that.
some really cool ideas you can do there. But it's just as simple as a phone call at 285-8117. They'll come out, do a free in-home measurement for the space you want to resurface, and then you pick out whatever product you want, and they'll get the job done swift, easy, just that simple. So y'all check out Prattville Carpet today. Again, that's 285-8117. And be sure to tell them that Joey and Eddie, those fellas on the radio, sent you. And we're pretty much out of time. Good to have you back, bro.
It's great to be here. One thing that I want to talk to you about, everybody about, I know we have a big radio family, and I know everybody doesn't get along. But at the end of the day, we are all family. And I know there's a man out there, Duke, that's hurting right now, and I would appreciate all the prayers that he can get. His family's going through one of the most toughest times you can imagine.
Yes, keep praying for him.
Please
folks.
pray for that man and his family.
Y'all stay tuned.
Broadcasting from the Riverside Chevrolet Master Control Center, this is WACV Cusana, News Talk 93.1 FM. When it's Chevy, it's Riverside.
With SRN News, I'm Bob Agnew in Washington. President Trump and Vice